All right, so here is the city. The main group of people are here. And Matthew Bain is heading over here to the temple. And then you guys are... So the rest of you, you're staying put, right? You're just keeping this guy down in amongst those damaged buildings and kind of keeping him...
we put him in a building, yeah.
Okay, keeping him off the main streets. Mm-hmm. Okay, makes perfect sense. Let's see, what sounds good for... that'll have to do. Because it's late. Okay. Right, so Cadorel. So yeah, you're going to go... so originally they were all set up in the Great Park doing their fake pseudo-religious ceremony where they were telling everybody that Ulrich wanted everybody to only drink blessed water today. It was a blessing for the city. So they had droves and droves of people lining up to get water from the priests as opposed to going to the wells. Being mostly superstitious and dumb, a lot of the common folk bought into this. The more wealthy folk that probably have their own fresh supplies of water didn't, but then hopefully they're not drinking from the local city wells anyway. I think you sabotaged 6 or 7 of the wells as well, scattered around the northern and eastern areas. Shagget just gifted a bunch of subs.
That was sneaky, dude. That was
yeah, it was very, very sneaky. Very, very sneaky.
Honestly, I tried to do it earlier, but it was bugging out on my phone.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if you just got gifted a sub from Shagget, be sure to say thank you, even if you're lurking. So Dave the DM, Zero Talent 7, Centurave, Lore Hiker, and JD Dude 6, you all got free subs because of that man.
Free summer.
So there you go. Alrighty.
What the what?
So I'm in the turkey just banging.
They're all just
the
still
door.
flowing in. There you go. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Thank you for that, Shagget. That was very, very, very generous of you. Very nice of you. Very, very nice.
It's for the nose.
For the nose?
For the nose.
I give him a pig nose. You all get free. You all get free subs. So that's how it works. All right. Yeah. So you're heading over to the temple.
Yep.
Once there, what do you want to do?
I'm assuming they do that thing late at night where you gotta like knock or whatever. Probably.
Yeah, so when you get there, remember the front of this place is very much like a military kind of barracks. So there are a lot of people wandering around. The doors are closed, but they are not locked. As a general rule of thumb, when you have probably some of the toughest knights in the realm wandering around loosely in your front courtyard, you don't have to worry too much about people trying to thieve or do bad things. And it is a temple when they like to allow people to come in and pray and do all that stuff. So you can... The door is closed, but you can just open it and wander in if you wish.
Yeah, I'll just walk in then.
Okay. All right.
And be all dramatic and pound on the door and be all like, guys, let me in. But no, I'll just walk in then.
Go ahead and be dramatic. Let your dramatic heart fly.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna run in and find the nearest, most familiarist looking man of the cloth, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of them roaming around here. So, the ones that you have spoken to, obviously there's the senior priest Ranulf.
Yeah.
He was the one that originally hired you.
Yeah.
And then there is Ulrich Schutzmann, who is the current acting high priest, I believe, in the other one's stead.
Yeah, I feel like Ulrich wouldn't want to be bothered. I'll go to Father Ranulf.
Okay. Alrighty. Yep, Father Ranulf is not going to be difficult to find. So he smiles at you when you come in and eagerly, kind of with anticipation, says, "So, have we managed to find those culprits and bring them to justice?"
We've We've managed to find one. He says there are many, and that they are on the move tonight to poison multiple wells.
Well, then it would seem the most logical thing to do is to gently persuade this individual to take you back to where his headquarters are. And maybe you can catch all of them in one foul swoop.
That's smart. We were hoping perhaps for aid in
Well, the
helping to
problem
round up
is, you
whatever-
see, is that if a mobilization of Ulrican knights was to be seen walking their way through the city, people would automatically assume something very, very bad was amiss. This is why you are much more better suited for this task, because nobody will suspect a bunch of Ne'er-Wells wandering around the city looking all strange and thinking, oh,
Yes,
look.
no one ever suspects strange-looking ne'er-do-wells roaming the city.
No, there are so many already. They are everywhere. Dwarves and halflings
That's
and
actually true.
elves and strange-looking folk of all kinds.
I suppose what I was more saying is the severity of the situation seems to be a bit more grave than originally anticipated. It seems to be a full-scale attack by an organized criminal gang of religious zealots.
Well, if you can bring us proof and evidence that there is indeed an organized group of zealots, we then can act in a different way. At this point, we can say that this is what we are doing. We have found a unpleasant group of zealots, and we are rooting them out and stopping them. However, if a unit of knights is seen this evening marching through the city, there will be a lot of suspicion, especially after our impromptu display in the Great Park today. People will put two and two together. You have to realize the head of the head of the city watch is not a stupid man. He will probably understand. Okay, the priests were giving out water, and now they are mobilizing. Oh, there is something going on. And as I said, we must avoid any suspicion at all.
Right, but chaos mutations being endemic in the city might also raise some suspicion.
And if you are not successful, this is possibly very true.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, if we are to continue the plan as follows, there will be poisoned wells and there will be chaos mutations at a large number
Do
throughout
you
the city.
believe then that if we are to act in some way, we can perhaps... these things are somewhat a little bit above my station. Let me discuss this with my superiors, and I will come back to you.
Right. We have apprehended the one. He was in the southern quarter, the alt market.
This is good information.
Oh,
Therefore, it
crossing
is
into the
most
alt
likely that the other poisoners will go to different areas other than the Altmark. So we know that that area is probably going to not receive more attempts to poison them tonight. At least we can hope.
It is a hasty assumption, but I don't totally disagree with it.
Well, with the information we have to go on at this current time, it seems the most likely. And especially if you have apprehended one of them. I doubt that any others were likely to want to push their luck in this particular quarter. Especially if their friend does not return.
What I mean to say is he seemed to be hinting at that this was a large-scale attack all to be happening tonight. We were only posted in one area and only apprehended one.
I understand. This is why I need to consult with
Right. If we
somebody
can,
above my station. I believe, in light of what you are saying, we do need to do something. I do not have the authority to mobilize the Teutonic Knights, however.
correct.
But if you will give me just a moment of time, I will go and see what I can arrange.
Okay. Should we bring the apprehended individual here, or
Well, if you have not done so already, and he is still in the Altmark, perhaps at this point we may as well wait until we find out exactly what my high priest thinks we should do.
okay? I'll leave you to your deliberations then.
I will not be long. All right, so he kind of shuffles off into the main quarters, leaving you to your own devices in the open cloister of the Church of Ulrich. He is only probably about 15 minutes to when he comes back and says, I have consulted with the Deputy High Priest, Klaus Leibniz. He says that this is what we think we should do. We are going to deploy some knights in plain clothing to spread out across the city. And now we no longer are needed to conduct the ceremonies in the Great Park. We can spread our resources in a different way and position them to possibly keep an eye on some of the wells. While you find out where the headquarters are and go and stop the cult from spreading any more of their mischief. He seemed very, very insistent that the knights are not used in such a way.
Probably to protect them, and that makes sense on his end. Yes.
It
so
may indeed be the
beautiful
fact
plan,
that he
love
knows
it.
that there is warpstone and does not want to expose them to it. And you are, shall we say, somewhat expendable.
Yeah. That's literally my job. My job is to be expendable. Yeah, okay. Sounds like a plan.
So with this information, I suggest you hastily go back to the Altmark and Alt Quarter and get the information from this man. Make him take you to his headquarters. Somewhere in this city is a hive of skullduggery and wicked zealotry. You must find it and stamp it out.
This also seems like an assumption. They could
Oh,
be
and
detectives, but
Herr Ulrich did Herr Leibniz did also mention to you that he was aware that the risk was somewhat great. So, he said that while already we have very generously compensated you for some of your work before, that there would be additional compensation provided for you upon your inevitable success.
hedging your bet there. Okay. I'll get right to it then. You do the same.
Is there anything else you think that we can do to assist you? Obviously, time is of the essence, so I do not wish to delay you here too much longer.
No, I mean, you guys don't really have badges, so
Badge? What do you badge?
well, it shows some allegiance and, you know, kind of like, and I hold the Sigmarian one up and just like, you know, just to show some
Aha!
authority.
And he kind of like pulls back his lapel, and you can see like a little brass wolf head. He says, "Your means like this."
Exactly like that.
Well, I tell you what. After you have successfully done so, because I would not want you to be carrying around something that identified you specifically associated with the Church of Ulrich while you're doing this, when you have completed your task, I feel sure that we would happily gift you one of these as a form of blessing and sign of our gratitude.
I'd appreciate that.
After all, we got them in the Cracker Jack box. It is not a big deal. He says, right, well, excellent. Well, Toodle Pip, off you go. Good luck.
As soon as he says Toodlepip, I'm out. I'm
Okay,
back
wait,
to the group.
So we did all of this work without the knowledge that they were going to already pay us? Him agreeing to finally pay us after we succeed, after we've already...
No, he said that you've already
Further
you're already getting
Oh,
generous
okay.
compensation, but he realized how much more dangerous this was that they're now asking you to do, so he's going to provide you additional compensation.
Okay, good. I was like, wait a minute. I am not that generous of a character. Not happening. I'm out. I'm leaving the city. I'm tired of this.
All right, so yeah,
I'm
it's
getting
probably a
that
good.
clout,
I mean,
guys.
you
I don't
guys
know
have
about
got
you.
this guy for about an hour and a half to 2 hours to yourselves before Cattle Rail will find his way back to you. Actually, no, you got your horse, didn't you?
Yeah, I was
So
taking
actually,
hours.
probably about an hour then. As this guy begins to routinely come around, Well, let me ask you this: while you have him unconscious, are you going to do anything or whatever, or just going to leave him?
I'm gonna creep up next to Bertilda, and I'm just gonna go like,
When we go back to your armorer, can we get a special helmet designed for me?
You want a helmet? Just a helmet.
Well, no, a helmet with the full face covering, you know. And I already have an idea for what likeness or animal. You know, you're the lioness. I know what I should be.
I'm. You know, your pockmarks aren't that bad. It's
Are you like a witch hunter? Are you gonna kill me when I show you what happened to me?
a witch hunter. You think I'm a witch hunter? One of those crazy assholes? No.
Okay.
I'm a little offended that you'd think that, to be honest.
No, I just want to make sure we're friends, right? I mean, I just want to make sure we're in it to the end, and you don't want to see me die by witch hunter hands.
I told you, your pockmarks aren't that bad. I don't know why you're so sensitive about it.
Hold on. Okay, don't freak out. Hi.
When did that happen?
I hope
That's all you've got to say? When did that happen?
Yeah. The warp dust kind of changed me.
So it was the warp dust, and it wasn't one of your magic tricks that did that to you.
I wish it was the magic trick because I could undo it. No, this was definitely not my doing.
Done did got
I mean, it takes the focus off the pockmarks.
It definitely does that.
But you know, we can go back to the dwarf armor and we could get a helmet, like a medium helmet, and maybe have it in the likeness of an evil, angry pig. What do you think?
I mean, you do you, but I mean, it's kind of cute.
Thanks.
I mean, it reminds me of home.
Okay, that's just weird. I don't know what to say.
all the cutest boys in Nurtengerd were pigs.
Growing up, I had this piglet.
Bacon.
His name was Hampton.
Hampton. It's a good name for a pig.
Okay, well, I mean, we need to get this covered because you know the witch hunters will.
Oh yeah, they won't like that.
They'll kill me immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very probable.
So
you should probably put on the mask that we wore down in the sewers for a little bit till we can get that taken care of.
Okay, I'm gonna do just that.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, so you're just going to put a mask over it?
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, it'll cover it, but of course the mask is going to be, like, somewhat protruding.
Of course.
But, you know, it'll look a little strange, but hey.
I'm a strange elf.
There
Whatever.
You go. You elves.
Matthew Bain's aesthetic is so cool right now. I can't even. Custom helmet thing coming on his way. He's just gonna.
Alrighty.
So cool.
Okay, other than that, so you're just going to leave the guy laying on the floor, and then so once he starts to come round, probably 10 minutes later.
I think we tied him up.
Okay, you're making sure he's tied and secured.
Oh yeah, we used the tent rope again.
Yeah.
Okay. Any gags implemented, or?
Not unless he gets super loud. I mean, I don't want to give him a concussion from knocking him out over and over again, but I am kind of hoping he talks and says maybe something.
I mean, he will. He'll
a little bit too much.
He'll initially. So when he comes round, he's like, "Where am I? Oh, oh yes. Oh, you apprehended me. You think you have won, but you haven't.
No, we work for your people.
You work for my people? What are you talking about?
Hell yeah, they sent us after you. They told you they wanted us to bring you back there. They didn't tell us what for.
Then why did you knock me unconscious and leave me here in the strange dark room of a burned building?
Because you were drawing too much attention. We ain't ready to show our hand just yet, dumbass.
I wasn't drawing attention. I was very, very quiet until suddenly this small person over here started shooting at me with a bow and arrow. That doesn't sound very much like my people. Besides,
gonna
we
look at
are a
Odette.
small organization, and I have never seen any of you before.
That's because you weren't supposed to see us.
Says, you must think I am stupid.
Well, yeah, I do, but that's beside the point.
I love
You
this
really
so
think that organization is just the people that you've seen? Who do you
Oh,
think's
of course not.
bossing
We
them
are
around?
fully aware that the organization is growing fast amongst the city and in other cities.
Bertilda, does that mean we can do the punishment on him?
Punishment? What punishment?
I mean, I don't know. They said that to only do it if he was, like, being belligerent.
Well, I mean, a little sprinkle on one hand here, a little sprinkle on a foot there, maybe his eyes last,
You seem to think that the conversations that we had but 20 minutes ago did not happen. When you apprehended me and said the things that you said, like now you're saying that those things did not happen, you did not say those things?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, but your story does not seem to make any sense compared to what you said before and what you're saying now.
Of course, we couldn't talk about the organization when we're out there on the street. What if somebody overheard us? You really are a dumbass. Maybe we should do the punishment.
He did get hit on the head a bunch of times. It could be,
Just go ahead, enact whatever punishments you wish. It is not going to matter. By
Or
the
stone on
time
the
that
finger
you
first.
have enacted these punishments, at least 3 or 4 more bells will have been poisoned. You are not succeeding. You are just merely making it slightly less effective.
You still think that we were trying to stop you from poisoning that well, don't you?
Absolutely, I was. Otherwise, why would you have shot me with a bow and arrow? And then attacked me and knocked me to the ground and beat me over the head. What reason would you have done such a thing? After all, if you wanted me to stop and were working for our organization, would you not have just come out of the dark and gone, oh, by the way, shh, come here. No, you choose to shoot me with a bow and arrow. It makes no sense whatsoever. Your story is asinine and I do not believe it.
You make no sense whatsoever.
He says, no, but, it's okay. I mean, I'm here.
You're supposed to be
building.
moving in stealth, and then somebody comes at you, and the first thing you do is shout, oh, no, there's lots and there's many of us, and you'll never win. What kind of...
Well, that wasn't the first thing I did. That was after you actually had apprehended me and almost killed me.
You're right, almost. I guess we
Almost.
should have went ahead and killed
But
him.
it is too bad. I am here. I am here in this dark building with you. There's nothing I can do.
I'm gonna kick him in the face.
Isn't he on like 1 health point or 1?
I don't care. He's
pretty
pissing me
injured.
off.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
so
kicking
you're
him in
like-
the face.
Boot him in the face. Go ahead. I'm not gonna make you roll to hit. Just do it's basically a strength -3 kick to the face.
Oh my gosh. So my strength is +3.
So it's a straight D10 roll
Okay.
then.
Okay.
Man, if you killed him just now,
8. Okay.
you killed him just now.
Seriously broke his.
No,
training.
because it's not considered lethal damage. Okay, but that will, because of the amount of it will issue a 1 crit, so it's possible you could. Yeah. 1 crit to the head. Roll it. Okay,
He's fine.
that's
He's
a good
fine.
one. Disorientated by the blow, character can only take half action on his next turn. Alright, so basically the intent, pretty much what you wanted is what you got. You give him you like bring your foot up, poof, and he's like, oh! And Wimps is maybe one of his teeth fall out as he's like,
While he's there, I'm gonna reach over and rifle through his pockets. Because I
Okay.
don't think we did that yet, right?
Odette's gonna go outside and
Okay.
just kind of keep an eye on stuff outside.
right. Okay, yeah. If you want to rifle through his pockets, I mean, he's got a handful of silver, silver shillings and pennies. He's got a knife tucked down in his belt.
take that, throw it across the room.
Okay, but other than that, the only other thing that he really had was, the pouch of dust. I mean, he came out with a very specific reason, a specific task, so he wasn't trying to carry a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff.
So this isn't like Waterworld where he has like a map tattooed to his back. This is where to go, right?
No. Definitely not, no.
Damn it. All right.
It's tattooed on his ass. No.
So I'm gonna look at Matthew Bain and I'm like, we're gonna have to do this the hard way, aren't we?
What is the hard way?
I'm gonna lean down beside the guy and I'm gonna take. If he's does he have hair? I assume he has hair.
Uh-huh.
Right. We're gonna roll him over on his stomach.
All right. He'll kind of like and let out a a kind of a painful oomph as his face hits the ground where he's recently just been kicked in the jaw.
You have this ugly ass tattoo on your hand here. This purple one. What's it mean?
I thought you were part of my organization. I thought you would know what this means. And then he kind of spits blood on the floor next to you.
I'm not going to do it with all my strength, but I'm going to smash his face onto the floor and say, wrong answer.
Okay, he's like, oh! Do your first. It is not going to matter. You are not going to stop us.
I'm going to glance at Matthew Bain.
I mean, we could poison him.
Give me a... when you say that, go ahead and give me a perception roll.
All right. Why did that not go?
Probably will. It's just the macros on these things.
It was lagging for me too.
Okay.
Okay. And Bertilda, you're there, so you also can make the dice roll. But because Odette went outside, and right at this moment, Catarel is galloping across the city. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
All right, so you succeed. So whenever he says we could poison him, you suddenly, just for a brief moment, seem like, you have poison, do you? My organization has trained us to be able to deal with many such poisons. I have much antidotes in my system. It won't work.
Well, Matthew Bain, what happens if you give him poison and he's got antidotes in his system? Does it do anything?
I don't think he has antidotes for what we would use. And I'm going to point at my nose.
And what poison is this you're talking about? Something made with deadly nightshade, perhaps? Or other exotic and unpleasant plants?
Well, I was thinking we'd just sprinkle a little of this warp stone on your hand with your tattoo on it.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. It could turn me into something most dangerous.
Oh, good, because then I'd have a real good excuse to kill your ass.
No. As a general rule, it is a very bad idea to put warpstone on someone such as myself.
Such as yourself?
Yes, of course. My allegiances being what they are.
Your allegiances? I'm sorry, that you're just... You might as well not be talking at all right now. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No,
You're trying to, scare us or manipulate us or something by saying my allegiances and whatnot. You gotta be a little more specific.
Obviously, I am one that has been trusted to carry this warpstone. Do you honestly think that I have not some sort of protection against it?
Do you think we don't? We knew you were going to be carrying warpstone.
Yeah, I mean, he is not aware that you have a pig nose at this point.
Right,
so,
I do have it covered, that's true. But I do react to it.
Why do you think we were there in the first place? We knew you had warpstone. We're not worried about it.
You should be. You should be very, very worried about it.
Well, the fact that we're not worried about it when you think we should be, doesn't that make you worry a little bit?
Of course I'm worried. I know exactly what the Warpstone is going to do to the city.
So this is my thought process. We transform you with whatever warpstone you didn't use, and then we escort you north of here, where there are 3 witch hunters out and about throughout the night, and we actually just let you loose and alert them to your presence.
If you expose me to Warpstone, what makes you think that you will be able to get me to these witch hunters? I will turn to something so monstrous, I will rip you to pieces.
We're not worried about that.
Then go ahead and sprinkle this stuff on me. See if I care.
All right, go ahead, Matthew Bain. Sprinkle it on him.
Very gingerly, I'm going to open the pouch.
Okay, he's kind of looking at you and his eyes are getting big and you notice that he's beginning to quake just a little bit. He goes, it's very, very valuable. Don't waste it.
That's okay. We know where we can get more.
Why don't you perhaps use a different type of poison? Do you know of any good truth serums that you might try? Maybe you can convince me to talk to truths.
I actually really like the Warpstone idea.
I don't like it so much now.
I don't give a damn what you like.
Bertilda, put out his hand, the one with the tattoo. We use that one.
Okay, I'm not going to ask any questions. I know he's tied up, so I'm going to...
Okay. All right, Bertilda, you can give me, at this point, give me an intimidation roll. I'll give you a plus 20 on that, though, because you're basically threatening him with the Warpstone.
I'll try it again.
Did you put the plus 20 on that?
I did.
Oh, so you have?
I have very low intimidation.
Oh.
That's like
But,
me.
I mean,
My
I'll give
intimidation
it
is
a-
16 too, so.
Oh well.
Oh,
that's not good. Okay. He just says,
We should have let Odette do it.
seriously.
Well,
right,
Dead's
yeah.
intimidation is worse than yours. Don't worry.
So at this point, yeah, he's just going to kind of like bite his lip and go ahead, do your first! As you're like holding his hand out. He's trying to resist and pull it back, but he doesn't have much strength left in him.
He's looking away.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna throw dirt on him, like on his hand instead.
Oh, that's a good idea. So
Okay.
Right as I'm about to.
Alright, so you sprinkle dirt on him, and he kind of goes, as soon as it hits him, he's like, ah! Oh, I can feel it. It's tingling. Run for your lives! Save yourselves!
Would you look at that? He really does have antidote.
I'm gonna cinch up it like I had sprinkled it. Cinch up the pouch.
That's
Put it
an
back on.
interesting trick you just did right there.
Wish you taught me.
Yes, it. Aha! I told you I was resistant to it. Yes, your tricks are not going to work on me.
That's pretty interesting.
Yes, all of the prayers, our prayers have been answered. We have been gifted with the strength to resist.
I don't know. Matthew Bain, are you sure that's Warpstone? It didn't kind of look like the Warpstone that we dealt with before.
Do you want me to smell it again? I'm gonna look at her.
I'm just kind of gonna look at Matthew Bain like, are you serious right now? Are you not? Have you not figured out what's going on here yet? I don't think they gave him real Warpstone.
They didn't trust him, huh?
They didn't give me
looked
the
like it.
Warpstone. I got it from the supply myself. I know this is real stuff.
You got it from the supply yourself. You expect us to believe that?
Believe what you want.
I am gonna believe what I want because we just put Warpstone on you and it did nothing.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just take me to the authorities and have me hand it over? Let them do
What do
what
you
they
think?
will with me.
I'm sorry, you think we work for the authorities?
No, I don't think you've acted to the authorities because, quite honestly, the authorities are much more efficient at doing their jobs than you are.
I'm gonna slam his face into the floor again.
Okay. He's like, oh! He says, if you were going to kill me, you would have already done it. Obviously, you want something from me.
Oh, I'm waiting for my other friend to get back. I don't want to do anything, without him knowing. Besides, he probably wants to see your ass die too.
Yes. That's fine.
I do wonder, Bertilda, if this immunity he has extends to all parts of his body.
Oh yeah, I see where you're going with this. I'm gonna flip him over and start undoing his pants.
Okay.
I was thinking of his ass, but okay, I'm gonna see what Bertilda's doing and not let it go.
Okay. All right. I must protest, and he starts kicking his legs to try to stop you.
I'm gonna call out to I'm gonna be like, Odette!
Okay.
Come in here.
Were you actively doing anything outside, or just kind of going outside and keeping an eye out?
I would be like listening or like trying to make sure that he wasn't too loud. Like
well, there were times when he was speaking incredibly loudly on purpose.
but
obviously.
like where people couldn't because we're in a pretty deserted area. It's mostly burned out.
Yeah, but
looking
there
for
are
people.
houses within a stone's throw of here that are not, and they do have people in.
Yeah, I'm watching to see if anybody like takes an interest.
Mostly what happens is when he starts yelling and hollering, mostly people, if they had their windows open, they just close the shutters.
That's all. That's all. I'm just making sure.
Oh my God, they're Northern
drawing
Houston.
attention.
Nobody, yeah, in this
Nobody
neck of the
cares.
woods, nobody is interested in being a hero, that's for sure.
That's all I'm making sure. I'm trying to just make sure that we're not going to be disturbed.
Well, the only problem is you are incredibly close to one of the main walkways, and you know, because you've seen them, that guards do go up and down there quite frequently.
Okay, so when they're coming, I'm gonna dip back. I would dip back in and let them know to be quiet.
Okay, all right. So yeah, when you start seeing the guards coming kind of down the street, you can dive back in and because I mean, you're only like 2 houses off of the main street.
That's my goal, is to try to just make sure that we don't draw any attention.
Okay. All right, yeah. So Old Ed will come running back in and be like, "Shh, the guards are coming," or whatever.
All right, that's perfect. We'll gag him now. That way, when we do what we're about to do, he won't be screaming.
Okay.
Or he might be screaming, just nobody will
Well, at
hear it.
that exact moment, he is going to scream at the top of his lungs, like, "Help! Help!"
Okay.
I am gonna punch him as hard as I can right in
okay.
in the nuts.
Okay. Same
I'm
thing.
gonna
It's
run at the same time. Can I run outside and start screaming help?
sure.
And then in a different direction.
Okay.
Damn.
Run towards the guards.
Well,
Or-
yeah. No, not towards the guards. Away from the guards.
Okay.
To try to make it look like my path is coming from a different direction.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and punch him in the nuts then.
Oh God, I gotta roll for that too. God,
You just said as hard as you could. You were very
I
specific.
did say as hard as I could.
You're, a mercenary. If you decide to whack this guy who is already close to death's door anyway,
1d10 again.
it'll be D10. Yep.
Oh God.
Okay. That's okay.
over-experience
It'll
is
hurt, but it
bad.
won't do a crit. So he'll be like, "Oh!"
Well, he stopped shouting.
Yep.
That was all I wanted.
Okay. So Aldette.
Mm-hmm.
So show me on the map, which way are you running? Because you knew the guards were coming down the main street here.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, they were... I'm going to try and get here and kind of push my way back.
Like,
I'm going to try to get there and then come and try to intercept them almost.
okay, so you want to kind of run up and then out to where the guards are?
I want it to look like I'm coming from this direction.
Okay, gotcha. So you want to...
Where we fought him initially.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Yeah, so you go running through the street screaming, "Help, help."
Yes.
And yeah, the 2 guards, hearing that, will be running in your direction with weapons drawn as you do so. As soon as they realize you're running, one of them goes, "Is it a little miss? What is the problem? You're safe now."
Thank goodness I found you. There was fighting. Someone was trying to take something from this man over there, and there were weapons, and somebody shot someone.
Oh, where was this?
It's back this direction. And I'm just going to point back toward, like...
Okay, they kind of look at each other, and he goes, how many men was there?
I only saw... I saw... two, but it was really dark. I couldn't see very well. I was just...
They look at each other again, they nod. They go, okay, show us where.
I'm not going back there.
Well, so...
It was that direction, right in front of... what is the place? I'm new to the area.
How far? How far are we talking?
How far was it from the restaurant? Or not the restaurant, but like we were in this area.
You were kind of like down here when you hold on, I'm a pinger. It was like down here.
Okay, I'm gonna try and estimate about this far.
Okay.
And just like make a guess.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. And he goes, very well, do you have somewhere safe to go?
I'm going straight home.
And where do you live?
I'm staying at one of the places in the Altmark.
Well, very well. You get yourself straight away home.
I'm going.
We will
right
go
there.
and deal with this mischief.
Oh, thank you so much.
And they both like start scurrying down the street in like a medium-speeded jog.
To keep up the pretense, I'm gonna jump over the Altmark before I dip back over.
Well, I mean, this whole area here makes perfect sense because this is where all the halflings live. This is the area
That's
known
why
as the
I
Little
picked
Moot
that.
anyway, so it makes perfect sense that that's where you would be, so it's very
That's why I picked
believable. Okay, yeah, so the two guards have run off to investigate the non-existent. They'll probably find something. I mean,
I shot
let's
a
be
couple
real,
arrows.
it's late
There's
at
some
night in a
blood.
dangerous part of town. They'll probably find something happening. I was over there by the red triangle. Be careful you don't trip on that massive white arrow on the floor as well.
Poor Matthew Banks' dignity.
Yep.
Look, I shot
Okay.
arrows over there. There's probably some blood where he got hurt
By the well.
by that well if they make it that far.
Yeah. All right. Well, while all this is going on, so Cadorel, we'll say about now is when you're clip-clopping your way down the street to get to this building.
Just imagine Catarel walking in with Bertilda pulling this guy's pants down and just like.
We have Warpstone pouch ready to uncinch, kind of like looking over everybody.
Yeah, and then he walks in and she's like, "What?"
I'm gonna
He
walk
whips
in.
out his cell phone. No.
I'm gonna walk into this
That's going on
situation and be
Instagram?
like, looking at the whole thing. I'm like, would this really be necessary?
I mean, the guy. I mean, he's got a busted lip, bloodied nose. He's speaking a little higher pitch than he was when you last saw him.
It's okay, Cad. He's immune.
Immune, you say?
Yeah, we were going to test it on his twig and berries.
As
Immunity.
fun as that is confiscated goods, of course. We probably shouldn't be.
We're not gonna,
careless, right?
we're not going to use all of it.
Snuff.
Just a sprinkle.
It might be fun to see what it does. I'm gonna look at the guy and just kind of like gauge his response.
See, that's what I was saying.
And he goes, "Well, apparently I am immune, so
Yeah,
go right ahead."
but your hand is different from there.
Yes, of course, you're.
If my
unborn
prayers
king,
of
it also-
protection were answered before I came out, then I'm sure that it extends to every part of my body, not just my hand.
Ah, but
Well,
you're
one would
unborn.
hope so, right?
Would it extend to your unborn? Is really the question we're hearing.
Oh. I mean, yeah, we could.
It's okay though, because if it starts looking too bad, I can do you a favor and I'm going to point at my sword.
just punched me in that area, I doubt I'm going to be having any children anyway.
Oh, you already ruined it for him, man.
But it's okay, because if it starts looking a little iffy, I'll just liberate it and I point at my sword.
I'm surprised you haven't already with the way he's looking.
I mean, I thought about it.
What exactly do people want other than to do wicked, torturous things to me?
I
Well, it
want to
seems
know who
mostly
you
that,
work
doesn't it?
for.
Don't
And
work
where?
for anybody.
Where did you get your supply?
This is something
Wait,
I will not tell you. It is a secret.
Who ended up passing that knowledge empire roll at the beginning?
I did.
It was
Okay, so you do
Matilda.
know
So she
the-
knows that obviously one of those tattoos is of Zinch, the Chaos God. So, talking about praying and his prayers being answered and immune to Warpstone and stuff, you don't have to be a genius to kind of figure out that somehow he's in league with Zinch worshippers.
I want to know what the purple one's for. So. I mean, I guess I could
If
pull
he's not
that
willing
card.
to speak, of course, we could... I mean, there's always the option of liberating it first and then testing the Warpstone.
That could be interesting.
See if it squirms away on its own. Watch him chase after it.
That sounds kind of cool, Matthew Bain. I'm going to try that. I'm going to start taking my sword out.
Okay.
That actually doesn't sound fun to me, but
It does to me. Don't worry. It's not very big. I'm sure that we can take care of it.
The
Pretty quickly.
Demon Penis of Altmark.
Okay, yeah, I would give you that's enough of a different tactic to potentially give you another opportunity at intimidating. Again, intimidation plus 20.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
That's fucking shit.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
God damn it.
That's...
You guys are just not that good at that particular
We're just
skill.
really not good. We have no good intimidator.
Right?
I've got 15, man.
Yeah, same. I'm like, I don't know.
Because none of you actually are trained in that skill yet, right?
I sure as hell want to be, though.
Could
That'll
any
make
of
this so
you-
much easier.
I mean, you're all basically taking the brutal approach right now. Maybe some of you could have done a lot better if you'd have gone another approach.
I was gonna go nice guy, but then like
Yeah,
didn't
I
have, like,
think
an
the nice
opportunity.
guy at this point is kind of out the window, really. At least for
Yes.
most of you, for sure.
Honestly, I'm kind of impressed with this guy so far. He's not giving anything up, and we're like threatening to castrate him and everything.
Hey, well, you got to realize sometimes people are
Yeah.
scared of other things that are more unpleasant and dangerous than you. And if he is somehow in league with a chaos god or the followers, there's a fairly good chance he's terrified of what could happen to him from that aspect. So maybe that's part of why
I'm
he's
pretty
the angle I was
impressed with
hoping to
you,
pull,
but
yeah.
Corrin said that, your
Zinch
god
and
was kind of a
pussies.
pussy, so I kind of expected, I underestimated you a little bit. I mean, Corrin told me you was going to be, you give up information right away.
So he's not gagged or anything, is he?
No.
No, not
Yeah.
at this time.
I'm gonna go ahead and gag him.
Okay.
Just like take a tear cloth and wrap it around, and make it so he can't like speak, talk, scream, etc.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna kind of like turn to everybody else and just be like, so what exactly have we divulged?
What have we divulged?
What have we learned? What have we gotten out of him?
We
Anything?
ain't learned jack or shit. I'm going to pinch him.
How large scale is his operation?
He says there's a lot of people, but then he also said it was a small organization, so he's just talking out his ass at this point.
Okay, well, I've mobilized our forces, as it were. They're going to work covertly to cancel any other attempts tonight. So
I'm gonna kind of nudge him, kind of roughly, and be like, "You hear that? Your organization's fucked."
Okay.
that
You
being
just
said,
kind of like or his gag.
What are we supposed to do?
well,
I mean, well, we need
know where he
proof.
got the warpstone dust from, right?
He says he procured it himself because, again, he's full of shit.
Yeah, that seems like a lie. Have we offered him an opportunity to cooperate?
In a manner of
Oh,
speaking.
was that a? I'm gonna look at Matthew Bain. I didn't know that was an option.
Honestly, considering what happened to me, I'm actually going to lower my mask for a second so Caterell can see it too.
Oh, I figured it was something much less terrible.
I've only really had a one-track mind about how to get information.
Well, then I suppose I should be apologizing to our guest.
I'm going to pull the mask back up, cover it up again.
Okay.
We'll get you some kind of ointment for that, I'm sure.
Or a mask. We'll talk to Bertilda about it.
Right.
Cover the whole face.
It was more a figure of speech. Maybe we could get a snake to piss on it. I don't know. All right,
Like,
so
this fixes
I'm
everything.
I'm gonna crouch down next to the guy and just like probably like I don't know, like he's on his back, trousers down, right,
Uh-huh.
gagged and wanting
Gagged
to.
and bloody.
I'm just gonna kind of crouch over him and just like, look, we have it in pretty well with, say, the Church of Sigmar and Ulrich, and we've been doing some good work. I'm just gonna kind of gesture to my badge, as it were. Whatever trouble you might be, yeah, whatever trouble you might be in here might be possibly expunged if we pull the right strings. Hmm. Yeah, it's very coherent, very, very logical. Maybe kick him again, get some words out. He doesn't seem to be
Or
speaking.
maybe take the gag out of his mouth.
No, I'm completely aware. I just don't want him to think I am. So your options are basically as follows. Either die here tonight and achieve nothing, knowing that your whole thing is going to fail, because frankly, this is the way we handle these kinds of situations. Imagine what we're going to do to your organization. Or you could help us with that and maybe get out of here just fine.
And I wouldn't worry about your chaos god, like, being proud of you in the afterlife or wherever the hell you think you go after this. Because I'm going to take your hand, the one with the pretty purple tattoo, and I'm going to make sure that everybody in your organization knows that you fucked up and that was why this happened.
He kind of like looks at Cadarel, and then he kind of glances at you, and he's like,
I mean, I don't always have control over her.
I mean, if you think about it, bringing us to your supply and having us deal with your organization is chaotic too, no? We would enact chaos on you, which is in keeping with your god. So your god would be happy with us then.
Well, I mean,
And you.
if he helped us, though. If he helped us.
He's just really struggling to speak for some
At
reason.
this point, he just like lays his head down on the floor, like not looking at you, and just like stares off across the floor into oblivion in the dust. Like he's like given up any will or any desire to protest, fight, or do anything.
Ah, there it is. Go ahead and sit with your thoughts for a few seconds.
Maybe we should put his pants back on.
Nah, he can keep those on. So, Kat, how was the night air like out there? Is everybody doing good at the temple?
Ah, yeah, they're all fine. Doing, temple-y things. Didn't seem too concerned. Apparently this isn't much of a threat.
Yeah. I mean, if the rest of the organization's anything like this, soon to be eunuch.
Yeah, he
I
doesn't
still
even
think
seem
we
to
should-
acknowledge your conversation anymore. He's like just given up thinking about it, worrying about it.
I'm gonna nudge him.
Okay,
You ready to have a little more conversation?
you nudge him. He doesn't even respond really, other than his body moves, but he doesn't say anything.
I think we crushed his spirit. Aw. I'm gonna take the gag out.
Okay,
And then I'm gonna slap him a little bit.
right, you do so. He just has a look of total despair on his face. He goes, "If you are going to kill me, just kill me. I'm not going to tell you anything. Clearly, you are all completely insane."
So we're giving you a way out.
No, you're not. He was giving me
Yeah.
a way out, and then you said you were going to cut my hand off. He claims that
Yeah,
he works
I'm
for
gonna
Ulrich,
cut your hand
but
off if
clearly
you
he does
don't
not, or he would
talk.
not be tolerating your behavior of me. The way you are treating me is no way anybody that was in league with Ulrich would allow such a thing.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear righteousness from somebody who's trying to poison a well at a city, okay?
He says, "Okay, this is fine.
Now, do you want a way out or not?
No, if you want to kill me, but I'm saying no more.
Batilda, would you mind maybe taking up...
I will deal with, I will do my best work in the afterlife."
Would you mind taking up watch? I noticed
Yeah,
us our
yeah.
scout.
I think I'll do that before I actually do make sure this guy doesn't have a way out. And I'm gonna go stand outside.
Humans. I apologize for the lack of civility.
He says, Your apologies mean absolutely nothing. You shot me with arrows, beat me within an inch of my life, threatened me, tortured me. There's nothing you
What
can
am-
possibly say to me anymore that makes me believe there is anything other than death awaiting me. So, go ahead and kill me. It does not matter at this point. I have failed in my duties this evening, but my brothers will not have.
And that's what I'm telling you, is unfortunately I have every reason to believe that they're going to. It's more just a matter of if we can expunge you or not, and it's really
There is
in
no
your
expunging me. I am not foolish enough to believe that you are going to let me go.
hands. I mean, not easily.
Not at all. If I tell you anything at all, you're going to hand me over to the authorities at best, or kill me. Believe me. At this point, in the physical state that I am in, if I was to go back to my brethren, I would probably suffer a fate far worse than death. At this juncture, I'm
That
quite
means that the
looking
warp
forward
stone
to it. I
mutation.
quite welcome it. I have nothing else to live for.
He is a human, is he not?
Mhm.
Okay. Then when he says that, I'm not as shaken.
You're probably going to be dead in 30 years anyway, let's be real.
Come now, you might want at least maybe a last drink or something.
No?
Oh, they don't allow that? Very strict at the Church
Believe
of
me,
Chaos there?
a drink is not going to change anything in my future, is it?
But it might change the present.
In what way? Oh, I have a drink and suddenly I am allowed to go on my merry way? Yes, of course.
Well, not your merry way exactly, but
Since all of you have done is speak to me in riddles and issue threats, you make no sense at all. I do not know what you want. I assume that you wanted to try to find out some information about what we were doing, but at this point, I no longer care. I would rather be executed, if you don't mind. So can you please get on with it and kill me and be done?
it's a tempting offer. It's really a tempting offer.
Says yes, but you understand? If this was what you were going to do, why would you have not done it already?
It's almost like we don't want to.
Precisely. Obviously you need something from me. But do you really think at this point, or this juncture, with the promise of no matter what happens, I'm going to lose a hand, or be killed, or whatever? Why would I possibly offer you any information at all when the outlook to me is so bleak either way?
Between you and I, our lioness is not the best at choosing words.
No, but she seems to be the best at enacting them. And words don't hurt. But her boot to my face, her fist to my groin, those did hurt. And how can you guarantee me that if I did cooperate with you in any way that she would not just kill me? Even against your wishes. I do not believe you could restrain her if you wanted to.
I think we could outrun her. That's besides the point.
I don't think I am in a state to outrun anything. Even your little friend with the tiny legs I could not outrun.
So you didn't, sure, okay. Well, then this puts us at a bit of an impasse. If we can't get information from you, we'll have to take you straight to the church as it is. They might be able to heal you up a little bit, now that I think about it.
Perhaps. I would rather be handed over to the priest of Ulrich. I know that my fate would not be any more pleasant in the long run, but it would be more civilized and cleaner, for sure.
And I'd rather you leave you with them as well. Frankly, the guard is a little bit fraternal.
How does people like you get recruited? You could tell me that, just that much, right?
Why would I tell you this? Or what benefit is it for me?
I have been rethinking my station in this city and what would accept me in my current state.
Oh, what is your current state?
I I'm not going to show you just yet. I kind of want. Give me a little something, please. How are people like you recruited? I mean, you don't have to give name locations or anything. I'm just like
You have never
curious.
come disingenuously lost. You have not ever felt the current way of things is mundane. You have not ever wished to find great change in your life, excitement,
Oh, I have recently.
acceptance for perhaps some things about you that are inferior. Maybe other members of society have shunned you, but you can find a group that are more welcoming.
Well, the only group that's found me quite welcoming is the group that has tortured you and threatened you and hurt you. They are my only real friends.
Well, I would suggest strongly that you find better friends. They
Well,
are bloodthirsty and brutal people.
Oh my
Says-
god, this is rich. I can't just sit here and listen to this bullshit.
So as he says, I'm gonna be like, says the people who want to bring this whole city down.
But see, you do not understand. You are foolish. We are helping the city. This is giving people a form of change and liberation from their day-to-day lives.
Just for a moment, I'd like you to take a look around the various burned buildings around you, the people living in squalor. You're
Precisely.
about to poison them.
But you say poison. This is not poison. It will not kill them. It will empower them. It will change
haven't you
them in
taken
ways
them
that they
already?
cannot imagine. They will become able to live a different life, no longer tied to the average toils of a simple citizen living here in the city.
Yeah, so as he says that, I'm gonna get on his level, and I'm gonna remove the mask and say, I smell your bullshit.
He goes, oh, it is glorious. Oh, it is glorious.
Yes.
Do you
Now.
want
You see, these are the
Hold
kinds
on.
of blessings.
Okay.
Why did you... So, you understand, yes? Even yourself wanted to sample this
Yes.
glorious gift from
I
a great
want-
lord, the
I
changer
actually-
of ways.
Oh my God. I want to give your people thanks.
Then let me go, and I will... Let me go, and I will talk to my associates about possibly extending you an invitation and getting you away from your friends. These are not friends. They work for the organizations that are the very root of what is wrong with the city and society.
I'm gonna put the mask back up. Point of fact, we are really extorting them. We're getting paid to do what they ask us to do. And we need the gold.
If gold is what you seek, why did you not say so? We would quite happily give you compensation that I'm sure is worth maybe 2 or 3 times what it is that you are currently being paid by these Arican priests that your friend speaks of. Not to mention, we have the ability to give you gifts beyond wealth.
Would I be able to shoot 2 arrows in 1 round?
By round, you mean a target? If I'm sure, you see, issue is to put your trust in him. And if this is what you truly desire, then yes, he could potentially transform your arms to become great weapons of archery. To those that are truly following, the changes that he brings upon you are ones that you desire. For those that have no guidance, then he decides how best to change them, how best to alter them, so that they are blessed with gifts that will enrich their lives. Do you not see this is the best way of all for everybody here in the city? You speak of poison, but it is not a poison, it is a blessing.
And at that, I'm uncinching the pouch and sprinkling some on his britches.
Okay.
He's talking this shit up so much, I'm gonna warp stone his genitals.
All right.
I'm gonna like cover him and gag him as fast as I can while this is happening.
Willpower
because I don't
of
want to scream
36, and so you're actually, let's see, skin contact with
I
a moderate
amount. Too,
amount.
Smook, just so you know. I was right with you.
Okay, skin contact with a moderate amount. He needs to roll 46 or better to resist it. 46 or less, sorry, to resist it.
No, that's you didn't do it right. I'll take it. No.
Oh, that's not good. let's get the 1D in there. There we go.
We all got really excited.
68. Okay.
putting it
Nope.
in the 1D. is
He does
no
not
different.
succeed. All right. Let me make a dice roll here. Ooh, a 5. Ooh, that might be really bad. Let's see.
Oh no.
I do want to make clear I was trying to gag him while this was happening, realizing that something was about to go down, so that he doesn't scream in a way that's like.
He might turn into an actual monster.
That's a good
Monster
chance of
dick.
that.
Here comes the monster dick.
All right.
Sorry, we might have ruined our chances of actually getting information from him.
He was so fucking obstinate. I don't see us getting anything from him at this point.
We really
Either
He's
way-
obstinate
I
because
feel
like
like ready to
he
hand
was
him over
dead.
the next morning.
I feel like we overextended our hand when
We
the
did.
intimidation didn't work. So
We
I
did.
don't think we were getting anywhere with that.
Well, now we can't turn him over to the witch hunters.
Or we can.
Well, he
No, we
might
can't, 'cause
say
he's
something
seen
about
you
Matthew
now.
Bain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll cover up.
All
Man, I
right.
was about to pull you aside and just be like, "Look, let's like act like we're in on it," and like
Yeah, I
having,
know-
like,
I know.
contact us. I was about to pull you aside and be like, "Oh yeah, no, we're going back." to
I
fucking
was
defecting."
thinking about going that route, but then he kept talking about how great it was as the
And you're
blessing.
just like,
And I was just like, that's bullshit, because otherwise they'd all do it to each other, right? To themselves, if they really thought it was a blessing.
Oh my god, that's disgusting. Okay. 5. Acid excretion. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, what?
So basically, his genitalia suddenly kind of begins to boil and bubble and pulse. His member begins to get larger and kind of more malformed and grotesque. And all the veiny parts kind of go very, very green. He's like looking down in horror at his manhood as this happens.
It's a gift.
And
Embrace
then,
it.
like, from the tip of it, a little drop of green liquid kind of drips to the ground, and as it hits the ground, it just goes tss, and like begins to bubble and boil. He's like, "Oh, what have you done? What have you done?"
Yeah, I'm backing up. I'm cinching the pouch up.
All right, he's like, even though his hands are tied, he's kind of like using his feet to like push himself backwards across the floor, like he's trying to escape his own body, but he obviously can't.
But he is gagged right now, though, because Kat said that he was.
Yeah, he's gagged. Yeah, so he's just like,
Jesus fucking Christ.
y'all are sick.
"Do you think you can control it?"
Super syphilis. Yeah, it could
If you
be.
can control it, that's really bad.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
See, I
Yeah,
think
I'm
you should have removed it first.
I'm-
Then it would be calling out.
yeah. But
Might have been a
I'm not
better
that smart. I was doing some sort of reaction.
Actually,
Bertilda's
actually
not
impressed
here,
by
right?
you.
No,
So, yeah.
I'm outside.
yeah.
So I'm gonna back up to the door or whatever is there that's between Bertilda and me, and I'm gonna knock on the door. We might need your sword.
I'll step in and seeing what's in front of me, I go, awesome.
It's leaking acid, Bertilda.
It's leaking.
It's not
acid.
supposed to do that, right?
No.
That's not
Most
a
of them
common
don't.
thing.
Most don't do that. Oh, Jesus Christ!
What if he like
Shaggy, what the-
shoots it at us?
How you feeling about that liberation now, there, buddy? Yeah.
I mean, he's just like staring with his eyes wide open, looking down at what's happened to him.
Has it gone past that in terms of mutation, or it just mutated into giant acid?
I mean, his whole
snake?
abdomen is now kind of like extended.
Oof.
Like it's almost like a pouch, probably full of this unpleasant substance.
Okay, so if that's all that's happened and it's not going anywhere and he's not doing anything with it and he's just freaking out
At
about
least
it,
not at the moment, he's not.
I'm still gonna unsheath my sword and kind of.
I'm gonna go ahead and like run up to him and pull up his trousers and get him like kind of like on his feet.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna like tie his belt on, make sure nothing's happening there, and then I'm just gonna be like,
Sure, it's just gonna melt through the pants, but okay.
I'm going to kind of like hold him almost like still, but like like kind of close, and I'm just like in his ear. I'm just going to be like, if this is your blessing, then it needs to be stopped.
Okay. He's.
You're going to take us to wherever this is, and we're going to end it before it gets anyone else. You understand? Sorry, one more time, and I'm going to pull his little gag down.
Okay. He looks at you and he goes, "I will do no such thing."
And then I'll put it back up. No. You see, you will. Because this is your last chance at redemption in this life, and I know you're really looking forward to the one after, but people who try and peddle this onto every single person who comes in contact with it generally don't get a good go at that, do they?
He's just kind of looking at you, and then you kind of like see him begin to like wiggle a bit, and he's like, and then he starts to squint and look at you with a much more mean look on his face.
Did you? I'm sorry, but you don't like having stuff like this pushed on you. What makes you think everybody else does?
We need to kill him. I'm gonna push him.
You're gonna push him?
Yeah, I'm gonna like push him so that he lands on his face because he's tied up, right?
He's sitting on the floor.
Yeah,
He's not
because I
standing up.
pulled him up. Like I was.
Oh,
holding him
okay. All right,
on
yeah.
his feet.
Fine.
Yeah. I'm just
Okay,
gonna take
you push him down.
Are we really killing him?
He's very confident all of a sudden.
I mean, it got bigger.
Fine, I'll kick him and roll him over. Cut it off.
I mean, he'll bleed out. I mean,
It's better than us getting acid syphilis.
so I have to say, I was bluffing, but you guys actually did it. That's kind of. Guys are crazy.
Matthew Bain is absolutely hiding behind Odette at this point in time because she's been quiet.
Oh, that's not there. That went and
Oh,
took-
that's not there.
Yeah,
That's
she's not
right.
there.
Odette's not there.
She's not here.
No,
for
Odette is
all-
out of the way.
Oh, that's right.
She's
She
making
went
sure
away.
that no guards are coming. She's like,
I mean, I roughed him up, but I wasn't really gonna. I was just gonna give
End
him
him.
to the church. I'm gonna kind of look at him and be like, I was just gonna give you to the church. I was just talking a big game. These guys actually did it. Bet you feel kind of stupid now, right?
Cut it off.
I don't like the sound of that.
Cut it off. He's confident. We can't have this.
I mean, okay. I guess I'll cut it off.
Alright, okay. So you yank his pants back down, and when you do so, it goes and like rears back like he's actually got full
Oh yeah, we're
control of
taking it out. No, no.
All right, you're gonna do an initiative roll.
He's tied down.
It's not.
It's not. It's acting independently.
acid.
It's acting independently at
Bertilda's
this point.
slow. No.
Yeah, Bertilda's incredibly slow.
Okay.
My,
Let's see. Where is his initiative? For this. Agility. Okay.
break out the butter.
Yeah, I'll cast a drop spell on his weed. Let's jump.
It'll go down.
All right. His initiative will
But he's
be
not holding it.
right
I
at
was gonna say
40.
cast a flaccid spell or something.
Okay, so she pulls his pants down and suddenly, and it's rearing back like it's about to spit acid. Matthew Bain, what do you want to do?
So I'm not gonna channel. I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna cast magic dart because I'm kind of panicking because it reared its fucking snake dick head up. You know.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna like channel a spell or get a pouch of my darts. I'm just gonna cast. So
I'm thoroughly amused that Bertilda was bluffing the whole time and was really just going to give him to the White Wolves, but he thought
I
she
thought you were
was
getting somewhere with the Matthew Bane conversation.
I
mean,
know,
with the
I know.
cattle rail conversation with him, but then it suddenly just took a dark turn.
yeah,
This is, of course,
yeah, I fail.
a perilous adventure.
Right?
Yeah, I try to dart, but it fizzles in my hand. I'm just like, I know. I'm a horrible person.
Okay.
I'm really excited for Old Dad to come back and think you're all crazy. Like, she doesn't even make up stories this wild.
All right. Okay, so Matthew Bay, you did jack crap.
Yeah, I'm standing there.
As you do that, his eyes look right at you, and kind of like he tilts his head,
Fucking shit, man.
and his eyes kind of like, you almost get the impression that if he didn't have he'd almost be smiling.
That's creepy.
He's a fan of the root of magic,
No,
right? 'Cause it's controlled chaos at that point. He's just like, ooh.
That's
yeah,
just
another
disappointing
one.
because I really wish he was coherent enough to know that Bertilda was actually his only friend in this whole situation.
I've got a feeling that he's coherent enough to realize that
He doesn't
after
give a
all the
shit now.
brutalization you guys have done to him, I don't think there's any likelihood he thinks any of you are probably a friend at this point.
I'm just because like Cat on his ride back was probably just thinking they've probably nearly killed the guy. He needs like a friend in this. I'm gonna be the friend, and then I show up and I just can't help myself. This poor dude's just fucked. Like I tried, man.
So
poured
what are you
mutant
going to
shit
do,
on his-
Cadorel?
I'm gonna draw my axe and try and just sever. You know,
You wanna
JK
try
just
to-
sever.
Okay, so as a called shot, so minus 20, but if you do hit, it will hit the body.
Body of the so the snake is considered a separate thing.
No, but you're trying to hit him. Instead of rolling to see where you hit him, you're aiming at a very specific place. So it's minus 20 to hit, but if you hit where you want to hit.
Which is going to be the body because there's not.
Yeah,
a
it
roll
counts
for
as the
his-
body. There is no penis crit table.
Damn it. Okay. Can we consider it
But
the left
but
leg?
for all intents and
Because I have-
purposes,
I have
I will
favorable
relate.
odds for
I
the
will,
left
middle-
I will
middle
translate
leg.
the crit to what you're actually trying to do, basically. is
Oh,
how
so
it
if he hits the leg, would it be like the testicles?
It depends on how he's been walking lately.
God.
We're gonna,
How warm is
we're
it
gonna
in
roll
here?
And I'm gonna miss. Here it comes. Because he's not okay. So my thing is like he's tied down and immobile.
Yes, but the problem
But
is
it's
it
like-
isn't. It's moving.
Yeah. So like if I'm
So
just
it's
aiming
like,
for like
shh.
his growing. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
mean
to
this
sever,
thing
like,
is
the whole thing
this
off.
thing is probably to the point where it's like 4 foot long. It's like a big giant.
It's like,
It's like a
we're,
snake.
we're describing. It's
Right.
like moving. It's
Yeah.
like one of those toys, you know, that was like the
Yeah,
snake that was
it's
like
like a
segmented.
snake,
That you
and
could,
it
like,
will
when
it
you
will
was a kid.
like try to not get hit. So it's not going to just
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
I feel
And that's the
so
thing is, like, I'm
bad
not-
for
Because
Odette.
I'm not trying to hit the snake
Oh,
as much as I'm
I'm
trying to
sorry.
like damage the base of the snake. You know.
Right, which is why you're
This
just going to
proves
try to hit the body.
importance of Old Dad.
Right,
Um,
so it's a minus 20. But
All
the
this
body
just
isn't
proves Old
mobile.
Dad
He's
to be
lying on his
Okay,
back.
if you're not actively trying to cut it off, and you just like want to smack him in that area,
'Cause that's more like.
then you can have just a straight roll.
Because I'm figuring if I'm hitting.
I thought you were trying
lying
to cut
person,
the
right?
snake off, like specifically
kind of.
decapitate the snake part.
I just want to damage the connection point, which isn't moving because he's
Yeah, okay,
lying on his back.
hack the body area. I got you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's straight.
Yep, you won't need.
I'm gonna miss anyway. Oh, whoa.
Nope, you hit him.
Oh,
If it
Uh,
had
okay,
a mind
so,
of its own, I don't know if I
Ooh, that
want it to
would've
be
been-
separate.
it would have been just below.
D10
the
plus your strength for a hand weapon. The body. Bearing in mind
Yeah.
he's on 0.
Yeah.
What is? That's a shield.
Oh, did I hit the shield button? Oops.
That's really one way to take care of it. Okay, there you go. 12. Okay, yeah, that's a 9 crit to the body.
Okay.
I think he's dead either way at this point.
If he survives this, I'll be impressed.
You are going to have to roll bad or very, very high for him to possibly have a chance of surviving it. With a 9.
99. 89.
89, close.
Okay,
I'm
basically,
pulverizing
yeah,
characters to the ground.
you hack deep down into him, and his spine is pulverized. He's already on the ground. He's basically considered helpless until sudden death rules of any other crit. So basically, he has 20% chance of bleeding out every round. All right, so he lets out a loud agony as you hack into probably right below his lower, right into his stomach, low down. And it's going to go through all the way to his spine. So yeah, he is, no matter what, he's permanently paralyzed from the waist down, even if somehow someone managed to save his life. But every round, there is a 20% chance he will bleed to death.
Admiral's just gonna look up and
Or
go.
if you hit him again, he dies automatically.
I'm just gonna look up and be like, I missed.
Let's not tell the priests this happened.
Is the snake thing still moving, by the way?
It is.
Oh.
He's not, but it is. It's like trying to pull itself free from his body.
No!
Oh.
We are not severing it. We're killing it, okay? I don't want a fucking...
Okay,
minion.
well, his initiative, aka its initiative, was
higher than mine.
a
because
40. So
everybody-
it's
did.
next.
Because the sack was in his abdomen.
Yeah, the sack was. That's where.
So- The acid was stored in his abdomen.
I'm assuming you didn't hit that,
I severed underneath it.
right? But you didn't sever. I mean, if you did, then it's free and loose and doing what it wants.
No, let's
No,
not.
because like if it's free and loose and doing what it wants, but has no acid supply, I'm more comfortable with that.
So
Oh,
the
yeah.
acid is in.
Let's
is
get
in the
bit by a
balls?
snake penis.
With
like
no
how
What's that
acid.
better?
How has this become this kind of discussion? So the acid is in
Because
the.
you guys were twisted and you decided that
I
warping
need
a
to know
man's
the
genitals was the way to
anatomical.
go.
Can I get a medical drawing of this?
Right.
Well,
so
fortunately,
it's-
Prepper Jack, they're all inside a burnt out derelict building. So nobody's really paying attention to what's going on. There are going to be people hearing muffled cries, but that's not uncommon for things like that.
The reaction gifs that you could be capturing. So the acid's in the.
Is it like Alien, where the queen separates? Kinda, Paladin. Yeah, that's very similar to how this would look. It'll like detach itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so it's free.
So on
and-
its turn, yeah, it's going to detach itself and try to snake its way to the door.
Oh God.
So towards me, because the door's closed, right? Or Matilda.
Yeah,
can't.
it's going to head towards the door. It's not. Doesn't seem to have any necessary way of opening the door, but it's crawling naturally towards the door.
Yeah, I kind of. I'm gonna let it go.
I need
You're going to open the door and let it out, or just get out of the way?
If Matilda fails, I'm not gonna get in the way of a snake penis. You know, I'm
Okay,
letting go
Matilda. So
tonight.
yeah, you can attack as Shaggy calls it, the snake penis.
Oh my God.
This is the sickest,
Penis.
twisted.
This was not what I expected to happen tonight. I just need you all
It
to know
isn't what I
that.
expected either.
I did not expect this tonight either, but here we are, Sneenus.
It's the weenus. All right, first attack will miss. Okay, second.
Woo!
Up, yep,
It
you'll
is a pet.
slap it. All right, hack the snake penis for 7. Toughness of 2, 5 wounds. Okay, that brings it to 0. It's still alive and
Oh my
still
God,
wiggling.
Of course it is. Oh gross. Oh gross. Oh.
Okay, next
Uh.
round. So, yeah.
Matthew
Based on
Bane, you're
those
like a wizard or
initiatives,
some shit. Kill it
Matthew
with fire.
Bane, what do you want to do? I'm surprised Spook hasn't decided to keep it as a pet, to be honest.
Based on this answer.
Usually that's what she does with anything completely weird and hideous. It's like, I want to keep it. Timifer.
Oh my God.
All right,
It's a 4 foot long.
I'm going to call him Willy.
all right. So what So what I'm going to do is open the door so it can slither by.
Okay.
And then as it's leaving the door, slam the door shut on it.
Okay, all right. Let's
Yeah.
see. In
How's that?
that case, yeah. I mean, it's give me a that'll be probably a straight agility roll
Okay.
because basically
Right.
it's you're just trying to be agile enough to slam it before it gets out.
Makes sense.
Let me
I am using a fate point.
fate point or a fortune point.
Shaggy,
No, fortune point. Fortune
you
point.
can't shut a door? Come on, man.
Oh, you can shut the door. It's
God
whether
damn
you can,
it!
All right. Yep. So you try to slam the door on it. And
Did you just let it go?
it will have just managed to. The door slams. You catch like a little tiny piece of the rudimentary flesh that was like dangling loose at the end of it.
Oh,
God.
But it like goes, snaps off and out the. Okay.
You just caught the foreskin in the door? Is that what you just did?
I gave
What
it a
the fuck?
circumcision. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he got,
The doors.
he got a little bit of the back part of it. Okay, so witnessing
lost its
that
doors.
failure, what do you want to do, Cadwell?
The door
Sorry.
is closed now.
And it's outside, yeah.
I'm gonna run up and kick the door open and chase
Yeah,
after
no.
this thing, shouting back to them.
Yeah.
This is the last time I go around chasing dick for you, Matthew Bay.
All right, so your movement, yeah, you can run up, yank open the door.
Oh,
It's not
what
that
is
fast.
this?
I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
and I'm
it's
just
not
gonna
designed for speed.
basically. I'm assuming this thing's just slinking around for however long it takes me to hit it with an axe.
So
Oh, God,
basically,
slinking.
well, it may attempt to defend itself. You don't know, but you'll get one
can
attack
parry.
on it before it tries to do that.
It can parry.
It
It's gonna
uses
bore
the
into the
one as
ground.
Oh, God. This
And
middle
this
image.
is how Dune happened. No. You
I
make
do not
spice.
have a very good axe skill, so here we go. This
Chop
is gonna
it.
take a while.
No.
All right, you swipe at
How
it and
fast
miss.
is this thing?
Not very fast. It only has a movement of 1. But
Oh,
even
me too.
so, basically, it is going to attempt to attack you.
Oh my god! If I get bit by it,
It has a weapon skill of 33.
Oh.
All right, so basically, it like rears around and dives at you, and as it does so, basically, you notice as the front end of it. I'm not going to get. You
No!
visualize what
No,
you want to
Corey,
visualize.
no!
You visualize it yourself. I'm not describing this, but let's just see.
It's like Slither, guys.
At the very
Like
front
the
of it,
creature
there
attacks.
is like two big fangy kind of sets of jaws that go and snap at you.
We
But
did
it will
this.
miss.
We did this to ourselves.
Oh, you did.
You did this to yourselves.
He
I
did
think-
this to us.
I think we can all agree it's all my fault.
Yes, yes, we can agree.
Yeah,
You're the
absolutely
only
agree.
person with an animal appendage. So,
I
you
take
know.
full responsibility for this entire session.
Yeah, this will go down as one of his lesser good ideas. All right, okay. So yeah, Bertilda, you saw Catterell run outside, and you hear him and you hear him swiping, and you hear ching, like something hit the ground.
Oh,
You're also
God.
going to hear,
Do you wish to?
Birdie, please. I can't hit for shit.
I'm gonna run out and try to help him.
Okay, so you can use your movement to rush out there, and you'll still
God,
get an
if
attack.
those guards see them, just smack
Not
them.
where you guys are. No, not at the
I know.
moment. Okay, there you go.
Left arm.
You hit it on
his
the
left
left
arm.
flank. It doesn't really have any arms. It's all body or head. There you go. You can
Ulrich's
go ahead and roll
Fury.
for Ulrich's Fury. Okay, nope. It's still a 10 crit to the. Basically, it counts as a 10 crit. But roll it to the body because it only has body.
Not to the head.
Doesn't have arms or legs.
Not to the head.
No.
Sorry.
All right, yeah.
Oh,
Kill.
God.
So basically, you're using a sword, right?
Yeah, Birdie.
So basically, it just popped up and was like hovered up like this on its hindquarters, where it tried to snap at Cadorel. You come running over, and with one foul swoop, hit it right in the top, and it just goes, and you
We're not
flay
going
it
to
clean
talk
in
about
half
all the
as it
puns of
drops
Birdie being
into
the
two halves
lioness
on
or
the
anything
ground.
like that, okay?
And the thing is dead, whatever
Popped
it
up
was.
at the twink and you just...
Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting down in the building still.
Okay, you tell me when you're ready to come back over here,
Never.
Aldette. But if she knew what was going on, she may never come
Would
back.
never come back. I would be out of the city if I knew what was happening. I'm out. Yeah, I'll come back. This seems like a good time to come back. The fighting's over.
All right, so you're going to slink back into the dark alleyways and back down to the building. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, the guy is dead.
4 feet long.
12-foot long, strange, hideous appendage. That was a snack. I'm a snack.
Well, it's no badge, but it's some kind of trophy. Could make a belt out of it. I don't.
Catarel is actually going to vomit after hearing that.
Probable. It makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a very kind of acrid, putrid smell in the air. You know, a horrible, acidic, wretched smell.
What kind of an area is this, though? Like, I know that we're in the, like, not great area of town, but is it well-traveled? Like, is it on the main road, or...?
Well, you're off the main road by a couple of buildings, but being that it is so late, most people know better than to be roaming around this part of town this late at night on your own.
But come morning.
Oh, come morning, there will be people all up and down the streets, yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, good. Good.
People will be like, what is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna take my shaking frame back to the building where the guy is dead and Matthew Bain is sitting there snorting. I'm just gonna... You know, I just about had him there. We just had to take him back to the church.
I'm sorry.
So is Old Depp here?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so Odette kind of walks in, and as she does so, she'll see this guy basically with his stomach eviscerated, and he is
We may have
memberless.
to buy you a new tent because I think we need to. We got to do something about this thing. I'm going to point at the
Well.
disembodied penis on the ground.
right outside the door, and there's that.
We can't just leave it there.
I don't even know how to respond to everything that happened.
I'm just gonna look
I
at
don't
her
know how to
with...
respond to everything that happened, so...
I'm going to be looking at Odette with the eyes of a child who lost their mother at the supermarket. Like...
Yep. It was just so funny
thank
that
God
0
you're
to
here.
5 on the mutation table is that particular thing. Like, it couldn't be more horrible.
Oh,
What were
God.
the other
Guys,
options?
this is why
Oh,
you rolled
there's
that.
I mean, there's a ridiculous amount of options, but it just, yeah.
This is why we, as a party, need Old Debt to do all of the talking. To anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, it certainly looks like things got out of hand.
Wasn't our fault. His penis attacked us.
Are you going to explain what happened?
Well, I came in here. I arrived here, and there were... Well, they basically had him on the last ropes, and he was already giving up hope. So I tried to talk to him nicely in a hope that he would trust me over them in a flight situation, you know, try and find some kind of friend. And then Matthew Bain poisoned his member with the... Why did you do that?
Well, because it was what Bertilda and I talked about doing. And
You and Batilda are no longer allowed to speak.
well, I mean, we
Batilda, you're allowed to speak freely. Thank you for dealing with that thing. I was about to get bit by...
I mean, we threatened to do it to his hand, and we bluffed him.
but we were really going to do it to his junk.
I mean, I wasn't really gonna,
What?
but
You weren't? I didn't know that. I thought you were
That's-
serious.
Matthew
should've
Bain, how is
probably
that
had a
any better
debriefing.
than how is that any better than the witch hunters?
What
We
time
aren't
is it?
better
Oh, the
than
witch
the
hunters
witch hunters,
definitely
that's
wouldn't
why.
have done that. That's for sure.
At what time? What time is it now?
It's like the early wee hours of the morning.
Okay. Okay. Well, first we need to get off of the street. We don't need to draw any attention to us or this.
What about?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna take caution and drag
Yes.
it back into the house.
I have a
Yes.
horse. There's no. Well, yes, bring that back, but don't touch it.
Burn the house down
The tent.
again.
Well, I wasn't intending on touching it, even if it didn't have
The-
warpstone probably all
The
over
only
it.
avenue we have for what's left of him is the churchhood.
No, it is not. We are going to the witch hunters with this. This is exactly what they do.
We are not going to the witch hunters, and I'm going to point at Matthew Bain.
I mean, you saw this already. I'm going to lower my.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
You,
gonna,
you had gone to Bertilda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I
you were
thought.
trying to
I
be
thought.
secretive
Yeah,
about
you were. I
Oh no, I thought you were
there,
being
too.
secretive about it. So I didn't react to it because I.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll just show you then. I'll just remove the mask. Hi.
Yeah, he's been tainted by the warpstone.
I thought I told you to be careful with that.
Warpstone snuff.
You didn't tell me when I opened it to be careful.
Okay.
King elves.
We
I mean,
we were given.
Hold up, Cat. Where's the cavalry? Weren't you going to get someone?
Wait, no. We need to deal with this.
Here's what's happened. I talked to them. They're sending out a dispatch of unmarked soldiers to watch the wells and make sure nothing happens tonight. They
Something
decided that would
did.
be the best course because if anybody saw them doing that, they would be upset. It would cause more chaos in the city than the warpstone would. So they sent out
Yeah,
a
that.
dispatch of soldiers to deal with that without dressing them as soldiers to hopefully keep things on the wraps. And then I came back and
What were we
next thing
supposed to do?
Matthew
with him?
Bain is turning his trouser snake into a literal snake. And
What did they say about the guy that we got?
they told us, they told me to question him
Okay, check.
to find the basis by which they were operating, which I was so close.
I don't think you were, but I will.
It's for anyone to say. I didn't dump warpstone on his dick.
That's a good question, actually. How did it come to that?
Well, he was a little bit irritating, and the patience of an elf when around a human apparently is less than.
He was talking about how it was a blessing to be changed and
So you
affected.
put it on.
So I thought he would think it
So
was
he
a
decided
gift.
to bless him.
Look, this is what we do. We get like a big bucket or a bathtub. We put all the parts of him in there, and then we open that acid pouch he has and dissolve him with his own shit.
Oh,
Matthew
This
Bain,
is
you're starting to scare me.
Terrible movie. This is out of some kind of future movie called Fight Club or something. No.
Very Heisenberg of you, but
What we do
Jesse
is
Eisenberg.
we go back to the churchhood with our deceased captive as he willingly bestowed himself with a secret pouch of warpstone which he had on himself that we were unaware as we did not have time to get it from him.
Yes, he had it in his underwear, and when we threw him to the ground, it broke and fucked him over.
And this whole thing happened and it was very strange and they'll be like,
And
ah,
it
yes,
most
that's
definitely
warpstone, of
wasn't
course.
our fault.
Because, of course, our resident wizard with pig snout, who seems totally trustworthy, would never do something like that.
maybe we
And
shouldn't
then-
tell him about the pig snout part.
I honestly think that our best bet is to still inform the witch hunters. And look, we don't have to inform them of what happened before, but they are the most equipped to deal with this.
If it was
I think anybody's quit to deal with this. He's dead.
if it was earlier tonight, I would agree with you, Odette. But now that I'm like this, the last thing I want to be is in their presence as much as possible.
We don't need you to be in their presence. We were given a very large area to watch over, Two of us
Okay.
can stay here and inform the witch hunters of what happened. The other two can pretend that they were down in a different section of the city and they didn't see anything. We have not met back up together yet. We were planning to do so after.
Uh-huh.
Dispatch of Ulfric's soldiers, Ulfric's best as they were, or Ulric's rather. This isn't Skyrim. They'll be coming back with their own information and whatever they find. Hopefully, they glean something.
Yes.
If
I just think that the people best equipped to deal with this body as well as the information that we have from it and the pouch of warpstone residue.
I'm gonna hand that to Odette right as
She's
she
not
says
touching
it.
it. She's not touching it. You can put it down.
I'll put it by your feet, kind of like go like this, and walk a few steps back.
I think that they are the best equipped to deal with it because they do so on a regular basis.
I agree.
Okay,
But we need to keep you out of their presence.
so I go on timeout for a few hours. While
You come with me to the church.
Oh, I should go to the church with you.
I
Odette.
don't know if that's correct.
Maybe you should
Well-
sketch a picture of what's on his hand. The purple tattoo.
Very well, I'll do so. Perhaps our witch hunters can also inform us as to what that is. But I can sketch a picture of it, and you can take it to the church and ask them for information.
If you could maybe get 2 of them, that would be, yes. So you can bring it to the churchhood, or I could bring it to the churchhood, you could bring it to the witch hunters. I'll bring Matthew Bain to the church with the body to dispose of it in a rational way, because we can't just leave this here.
I was thinking the witch hunters would be the ones to deal with the body.
What are
Might
they
be a
going to
good
do?
idea. I don't know, but they know how to deal with the
They know how to
warpstone.
deal with warpstone residue.
Yes, they can handle the
Victims.
warpstone. I'm saying the body
They
itself.
know what to do with the victims, though. They're the ones who deal with this and
Burn it,
keep
right.
contained.
Right.
That's about it.
I think
Find a
I believe
bonfire,
you should
chuck it
stay
in.
here with me.
I guess my issue is more just what do we provide the church to show them that we aren't necessarily completely empty-handed here. Like, we lost our cards, as they are now deceased. They need something, I'm sure, to go by. We can't just be on good word. They offered increased compensation for the danger of the task.
Who cut off his hands?
You could take back the tattoos.
Yeah, if you were to draw them. I don't want to bring them a physical hand. That makes us look terribly barbaric. And they worship a pretty decent fellow, if you might imagine.
Yes, I do think that of the party, though, you're the best to remain with me.
I'm going to bury my flattery.
Obviously, we cannot have Matthew Bain here with the witch hunters coming, and Batilda has an increasing dislike of them.
And my issue with that is
I'm gonna look at Bertilda and be like, I'm sorry you're stuck with me.
not to cast disparity here. I'm not.
Oh, I told you I like pigs. I used to have that pet
Maybe you
piglet,
can
remember?
snuffle you a truffle.
Stuff like trouble.
Not to throw stones and
No,
cast
those
disparity. I don't trust
truffles.
either one of these two, let alone the two together. Not after what I've seen tonight.
What did I do?
Didn't this happen when you were
Brought
with
him
him?
to the point of death, to the point where he was no longer fearing it, and it was nearly impossible to talk him back to any sort of conscious state.
Okay,
I mean,
we
he
will go
wasn't trying
to the
tell
church.
us.
We will go to the church together after we have the witch hunters deal with the body. We
I
will
guess
just need.
I'll get some fresh air.
We would need 2 to go as well, I think, because it would seem more believable if 2 of us were separated into 2 groups to cover more ground.
I agree.
If there were 3 of us and 1, they would question why the one was alone.
I'm going to take a moment to look at all of the various wounds on the bodies, etc. And just note, do any of these look specifically sword-like?
I didn't use my sword on him.
No, I mean, he's got a
arrow.
couple of, he was nicked by a couple of arrows. Mostly it's blunt force trauma to the face and the back of the head and stuff. He's just really just beaten up.
Like,
Other
literally-
than the huge hatchet wound in the stomach.
Which was
Like
nice.
literally, all I did was I clotheslined him. I did punch him in the face, and I kicked him in the face,
And when the
and I smashed his face onto the floor,
Numerous times.
and then I punched him in the nads. That's literally all I did.
All I did.
but the trouser snake.
But that was kind of like Renton too. That could have been a hatchet.
Yeah, that could have been an axe. Okay, I just want to be clear that it doesn't look like he was murdered by sword, etc. Because I don't have one of those.
No.
I mean, I have a huge one.
No, he literally died because of the. Actually, you're the one that killed him, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure the nature of the beast, you know.
Well, I mean, he had transformed partially at that point,
right.
so.
And so this is Did we sell the helmet that we got from the Corn Temple?
No.
You did not.
Is it a full face covered kind of thing, or just a top head?
It was
I
a
think it's
beastman
open
helm.
face, and it just has the beast head, like face here with.
So the face is still shown, right?
I think so.
Let me.
I mean, like I can't put that on and be like, "Hey, cover my nose."
Yeah.
Give me a second, and I'll.
I mean, you don't think it's going to be weird that you're walking
Look at
around
my
in like
notes and I'll
regular
tell
wizard
ya.
garb with a helmet on?
I think it'd be kind of cool, you know.
I mean, if you wear the helmet under the hood, it might be a little less weird.
Well, I mean, it's
What
so
it-
cumbersome, right? It's like extra hood. I need to get a big ass hood.
Big ass hood.
Big ass hood.
Big
I
ass.
just want to get you one of the plague doctor masks. Is what I really want you to get.
Okay, it's the Beastman headed helmet. Yeah. It's a full knight's helm, so actually it does have a visor that comes down.
Oh, well then, yes, take it, please. You deserve it.
I mean, I'll look weird as shit wearing leather armor with that on, but
I'm
Maybe
telling
you're
you
just
guys,
Very worried about being hit in the head.
Plague doctor. Get
Plague
the plague
doctor.
doctor mask.
yeah, I'm gonna put that on my head. I mean, if that's what we have now, it's better
Right,
than
okay.
the face mask. So it's medium, I assume. Like,
It's plate, so I mean it adds
Heavy.
ooh,
a point on top of whatever you've already got.
okay. And it's called the what beast? The
It's just a Beastman headed helm is what it is.
I'm sure we can find something a little more wieldy for you eventually.
yeah, eventually, sure.
Let me
Okay.
see.
It's gonna draw
So
much
I'll give you the
attention.
stats for it. Hold on.
There are other exhibitionists out at this point in the night, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, Plague Doctor mask. Those things are cool, John.
That's what I want.
I know with the beak.
That would, it would
fucking
fit
badass.
you. It would suit you.
It would actually suit your character so well too. Because can you imagine like all the leather armor and the robes and then like this beak mask?
Big
Beast-
beak
yeah.
mask, yep.
And that would probably be medium, right? I assume.
Yeah,
I don't
it would all fit on you pretty good, yeah.
I don't know, but it would.
Well,
fit
it depends what it's made of.
Cloth.
be a super cool aesthetic.
So do you have a leather helm right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you put the plate helm on top of that, the plate helm itself is worth 2 armor. So with the leather skull cap and this, you have 3 head armor.
Okay.
Roll that quickly.
I mean, that makes sense considering all my other stats. Yeah, it works. I put it on and
Yep.
it
And if you had a chain coif over between that and the whatever, you'd have a 5 head armor.
Before we go and
Cool.
meet with
Thanks.
these witch hunters,
Yes.
can we please get a strict set of instructions for these two? Because I
I don't know
no longer
what.
trust them alone at their own agency.
I was just doing what we were supposed to do, which was get information from him. It's not my fault he wouldn't give it up.
If you were doing that, you would have achieved it.
No, look, listen, Canderel. This turning so bad was entirely my fault. I accept full responsibility. It was not Bertilda's fault.
Thank you for summing that up.
So, get a manual for me, sure. I mean, whatever. I'll inscribe it in my future grimoire.
I'm going to add to my character sheet that I'm racist towards elves now, too.
You're gonna become like a halfling at heart.
Honestly. So, Matthew Ben, I can't believe I'm telling you this. Watch your fucking temper.
This was not a temper issue, trust me.
Then what the was it?
You sound like you have more of a temper than I ever did.
I'm going to go ahead and draw my bow and point it at him. Say that again. Go ahead
Wow,
and take your little
okay.
darts at him. You
I
piece of
think
shit. You
it is
fucking
best-
murdered this man in front of me.
Technically,
He only had how many years?
wait, what? Are you serious? You're joking, right?
A little bit. But what does it matter to you?
Well, I find humor in what you're doing.
I'm going to lower the bow and just look at him like, you literally did what we're trying to stop. For fun, was it?
Okay, to be fair, thinking Elfies, right? Okay. He could have either poisoned an entire sector of the city or himself. What was the lesser of two evils? This is like the cart problem, trolley problem, but the cart problem.
But it's
You
being
kill
said
many
on
or
completely
one.
False pretexts. I'm not academic like you, but I'm not an idiot.
Okay.
I mean, looking at my stat block, maybe, but
Okay. I accept responsibility. I don't have a temper. I won't do it again.
saying you don't have a temper, but you would do something as stupid as that because he was a little bit annoying.
I was giving him a gift. He said it was a gift. So I was trying to ingratiate myself.
You said it was a gift as he was walking through the door to what we needed him to do, and you slammed it shut because that was
Again, I don't think he would have cooperated with us at all after what we had already failed to do.
Not with us, but if we introduced a third party, which I was about to do.
I didn't know you were about to do that because
I mentioned the church how many times?
Yeah, but we don't trust the church. We don't trust the church. We don't trust. Oh, well, sorry, Matilda. We don't trust the witch hunters. We don't trust anyone except each other. So I didn't know that was a play.
I have a
other
decent
friends.
feeling that that's just you, and you have to work that out. Go ahead and talk to Matilda. She seems to understand things better than you, the academic. I'm going to stick to my half.
I mean, yeah, who doesn't want a 4-foot penis? Like,
get out of here! I'm going to point at the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk out.
We need to, before you go, we need to set up where we're meeting and what we're doing after this. You need to stay away from the witch hunters, but we do need to stay together.
So the well that he was going to.
You want to meet back there?
Sure. Not that far. I'll walk half the distance, more the other direction. Be out of sight, out of mind.
Just
Out of character, isn't that where Oldette sent the other
That's where I
guards?
sent the guards like forever ago. In that direction. I didn't send them to the well though.
Prepper, I put the warp stone down on the floor, so it's technically sitting alone now.
It's at my feet.
All by itself.
It's at my feet.
I don't have the warp stone on me, because, yeah, probably not a good idea to have it.
Privilege is revoked.
I'm a little concerned that we all don't seem to be on the same page or know what each other's motivations or sort of dispositions are.
In character or out of character?
In character.
Okay.
I know I didn't say it in a funky accent.
I was making sure here. Yes.
Maybe that's just a conversation, right?
We have only been together for a week at most, so
Longer. We
That's
traveled.
much longer than that.
Yeah.
Feels
we've
like it's
only,
been at
we've
least
only
30
been
years.
in a group for a week. When we were traveling, we were still strangers. It will come with time, but for now, we need to deal with the present problem so that it doesn't become something even bigger.
It could become a problem really fast because it was just a couple minutes ago when one of us was aiming a weapon at the other one.
Yes.
Yes, but he was an elf, so what's the difference to you?
Also, okay. Enough.
Because I'm not racist?
Okay. Let's move on. I was wrong.
Can we have this discussion?
Snake penis was my fault. We can move on.
Can we have this discussion over breakfast?
Yes, maybe we're just we're hangry. That's what it is. Although I kind of lost my appetite after what we just went through.
Let's have this discussion over breakfast.
Well, let's get this sorted and then go to that halfling place and have food.
Yes, would you like to meet there?
Absolutely.
Sure.
That's been the highlight of the whole adventure for me.
Well, thank you. It's quite a compliment. Okay, we will go and get the witch hunters then.
All right. So we, as in Old
As in, Old Det is going to get the witch hunters. Cattlerail is going to stay with the body.
Okay. What are the other two doing?
I'm gonna loiter outside the halfling place where we eat, because wait for it to like open. I guess.
Okay. All right. It's open all the time, so.
But I'm not gonna go in.
Okay.
Until, like,
all right.
they show up.
And what is Bertilda doing?
I'm probably just gonna go sit down near Matthew Bain.
Okay.
I'm a little.
What are you doing with the
confused.
pouch of warpstone dust? Who has that?
It is staying with the body. We are not touching it. We are letting
Okay.
witch hunters deal with it.
All right.
At least
Yeah.
that's my intention.
Yeah, the whole time I'm just like apologizing to the poor fuck who just died because nobody would listen to him or reason with him, and all
Wow.
this escalated. so
Okay, out of
fucking
character,
fast.
I am really unclear about Catarail's priorities and allegiances
Well, no,
right now.
like that's the thing. It's like I'm praying for him to like not go to chaos hell forever, but like regular hell, not chaos hell. That's worse.
He deserves to go there. He was going to poison a bunch of people.
No, no.
But like
he was
his
going
whole
to-
rationale and
was
how he
gonna
got
bless
there
those
was
people.
understandable. He was just a person living a life, and it got really, really icky through there. But like all these people here are doing that, and wants to change the entire civilianship to doing the same. Not much. He's just kind of a symptom, and I feel bad because he just kind of didn't have any chance at all, despite having possibly a chance. No, not really, and that's kind of pissy. Makes me feel
He was
bad.
a horrible person.
He was
Yeah.
a bad person. He had
And it's
no.
settled now, and I can pray over him to make myself feel better and earn more badges. Is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, Odette feels nothing for the guy. She just wants to get this off of her plate. She doesn't want this to come back.
I'm with Odette and Bertilda because she likes pigs.
And I'm just trying to talk to someone because y'all are impossible.
That is very true. We are
So
really
I'm talking
that
to a
is just-
deceased man with no member about his problems.
Odette is just like
And I have 3 insanity points or something, so like,
focused.
let me live.
She wants to get this dealt with. She is like,
All right.
we have a task, let's do it.
Okay,
Get
so
over it.
you are heading back up to the Freeburg area where the witch hunters were keeping
I'm
an eye
gonna
on things.
go to the park where we're supposed to meet. It's almost morning. He said it was early morning.
It's the early hours of the morning, like 2-3 a.m.
Oh, then yes, I'm gonna go try to find one of them.
Okay. Yeah, well, you knew roughly where they were going to be. Okay, so you'll head up to the Freeburg area. And you know that they particularly were talking about keeping an eye on the well closest to the Temple of Sigmar, because the thought process might be that this was a deliberate attack on the religious entities.
Yes.
When you get there, you will see a couple of very well-groomed, well-dressed, hefty fellows standing, loitering in and around the well, but it's not the witch hunters. Not entirely sure who they are, but they are they're dressed in common clothes, but they're so pristinely clean and mannequin that they just don't. There's just something off about these guys. As you kind of like stand there and you're looking at them, you'll hear a psst, psst from the side passage of one of the buildings close to you.
I'm going to look to the side passage.
Okay. When you look to the side passage, you will see one of the witch hunters
Okay, good.
kind of beckoning you over.
Oh, then I'll go. If it's the witch hunters, I'm going.
It's the big kind of, the big kind of oafish one that was seemed to be
like him.
the largest amount of the largest of the muscle of the three, which was Jacob Bauer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jacob looks at you and he says,
Do you see those two over there?
Yes?
They showed up about an hour ago. They have been watching the well very quietly.
That... That's probably our fault.
Yeah, we was watching and waiting for them to attempt to poison the well, but they have not made any movements towards it.
I don't believe they're going to. I was informed that the church, I'm just checking out of character, I was informed that the church is sending plainclothes people. You did mention that?
Yes,
He did.
Okay.
Yep.
I was making sure that that was mentioned and that was not outside knowledge.
Yep.
We were able to get the church to send some of the knights in plainclothes to come and watch some of the wells because we were under the impression that there was a big operation happening tonight.
Oh, I see. I should have known
Well-
this sooner,
Yeah, we were just...
but I suppose you did not have an opportunity to let us know.
No, we've been dealing with a lot and we might need your help now.
Well, we can go and fetch Mateus and, come with you if that's what you need, or, is this something I can help you with myself?
Well, it's not... We have something that needs to be discarded, and we are not equipped for it.
That depends, baby.
Are you talking about perhaps you have found some warpstone?
Yes, that, and there's a body.
So you found the warpstone on the body?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Yes, then let us make haste.
Alone, or do you need your friends with you?
Where is the body?
It is down in the old quarter.
And, is this not something that we can just notify the Temple of Moor and, have the Moorite priest come and claim the body and give it some last rites? Or is there something more about this body?
Yes, there's something more about the body.
Perhaps you should tell me a bit more about what it is that makes this a particular problem that we need to deal with.
There was a mutation with the body.
Ah, I see. Is the body
Yes.
well secured at this time?
At the moment, it is in a burned-out house with my friend watching it. I would like to get back as soon as possible.
And whereabouts in the city?
It is down in the old quarter.
Ah, I see. Right, then let us make haste.
Okay, do you need your friends for this, or is this something you can deal with on your
I
own?
think it would waste too much time to try to find Mateus.
Okay.
And it would be something that perhaps I can deal with. At least
Perfect.
make sure it's secured.
I will take you there immediately.
Do you have any mode of transportation?
My
Wagon,
legs.
cart, horse?
My legs.
I did
Let's
not
go.
mean for you. Never mind. Come, let's go.
All right, so you were going to
No,
take
that's his problem.
Jacob Bauer down to the to where the body is.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to pray to whatever deity the halfling prays to at this moment, because she doesn't really know, that when she gets in there, Cattlerell is not touching the body.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No. No, after seeing what I've seen tonight.
Because if you are, you're dead. I'm sorry. I can't save you at that point.
Okay.
I'm probably like perched up on like a burnt section of building, looking over both the body and the street, thinking about my life and what got
Okay.
me here and why is this happening and who is really watching this world? It's full of chaos and terror. Is it really that we have our gods, or are our gods just the last glimmer of hope against something true and evil?
That's about right.
While Odette is task oriented.
Okay.
Doesn't have time. For that.
So you return. So yeah, Aldette will come in with this big hulking fellow stomping in behind her, which you'll recognize as one of the witch hunters. Again, he is kitted out from head to foot in full mail. He comes wandering in, clanking, and glances around, and then seeing the eviscerated body, he walks over to it and kind of looks at it. At that point, he pulls out a handkerchief and puts it over his mouth, and then he kind of like gets down close to the body and, pulling out a dagger, just kind of gently prods it and pokes it, and paying particular attention to this big, kind of extended bubble, like on the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And
Reason to believe that's acidic.
And he's kind of like, he looks down and examines it. He kind of looks up at you and like raises an eyebrow, like with a concerned look. And he says,
"And you happen to stumble across this body?"
No, we found the man attempting to poison the well here, and
Are you 100% certain that he did not succeed?
yes.
I'm assuming the bag of warpstone is still on the
It's by
ground
the
where
body,
Maccabee
yeah.
left it.
The bag there is what we assume is what he was trying to poison the well with. We have not confirmed it. I didn't want to touch it.
He says, "You believe this is warpstone?"
I do, but again, I haven't confirmed that because we have not wanted to be in contact with it.
okay. With that, he keeps the handkerchief over his hand, or his hand over his handkerchief, and keeps it to his mouth. And he goes over with the dagger, and like very, very carefully, slowly widens the opening of the bag, and then kind of like dips the dagger in and like lifts it out to where there's like just a little tiny bit of this green powder on the top of it. And he kind of like winces at it. And then he does something rather curious. You see him kind of like go and bite down and spit a piece of his own tongue on the floor. Like a very small piece, not like half the tongue. And then he sprinkles the warpstone on it.
Holy shit,
And as soon as he
that's
does
mad.
that, it begins to bubble and and then he just slams his heavy mailed boot down on it and grinds it into the ground. And then kind of looks at you and he goes, "That is warpstone."
Well, I'm glad we didn't touch it then.
With that, he kind of like lifts the pouch up by the string, and then again with his mailed gloves, kind of using the dagger like through the little piece of string, he like pulls on it so it goes tight, and then he wraps it around, ties it tight, and then like glances around for something to put it in. He goes over and he finds kind of like a half burnt out drawer from an old chest of drawers, and he kind of like just drops it down in there and pulls the drawer out and tucks it under his arm so that he's not actually actively touching the pouch itself. And he says,
"So what else did you manage to find out about this man? Did you interrogate him?"
We did before it was revealed that he had a mutation.
I see. And did you
He
manage to
was
find
very-
out where his,
We were informed that there were many of his brothers who were operating tonight, which is why we went to the church for help. We didn't think we could find you quickly enough and we wouldn't have enough forces to separate.
that you were forced to kill this man before he was able to give you any more information, I suppose?
Yes, we were.
I understand.
We
We
were
didn't want to let this.
ill-equipped.
We need to burn this body, but we cannot do it here. It will draw attention.
Yes, that's
And this is why I asked if you had a cart or some form of transportation that we could load the body onto and perhaps take it out of the city and burn it.
I have a
we do not
horse.
have access to that.
I do have a horse. I don't have a cart.
I dare say something that is so tainted by chaos, I would not want to slow over the back of your horse.
Perhaps if we wrap it in something.
Warpstone and chaos mutations tend to react directly to flesh. It is unlikely that it would have any effect on a cart, but your horse maybe could turn into
Chaos
rather an
also.
unpleasant monstrosity if it come into contact.
That'd be quite an investment down the drain, wouldn't it?
The southern area of the city is full of refugees at the moment. They've been coming from different areas. Perhaps they have carts from their journey. They would be all too happy to sell.
If you do
or
not
rent.
have a cart, as long as we can hide the body, I can acquire a cart by morning. We can take care of this body. We just need to make sure that nobody else finds it.
Yes, that's been the reason we came to you so quickly.
Right, kind of again. So glancing around, he goes over and just starts hauling old burned out timbers and pieces of burned out furniture and just piling them on top of the body to kind of hide it.
Yeah, I'll start helping him out with it.
He's starts using his sword to kind of scrape dirt and soot from some of the burnt beams, and he's like grinding it down the side of the beam so that black powder is dropping all over the corpse and stuff like that. And he says, so, as he's doing it, he's like, so tell me, how did you find this man? What was he doing that brought attention to himself? Why did you know that he was a member or somebody that was working for this,
Well, we were watching some of the wells. We had split up so we could take more area. And we were watching one well, and he came to the well, and at first I thought maybe he had come for water, but I saw the tattoo on his arms.
Tattoos?
Yes, there were tattoos on his arms.
With that, he kind of stops, and then he starts raking the timbers back off, and grabs the guy's arm and looks at the first one, and he's like,
Praise be. You know what this is?
I
This-
know that it's not good.
This is a symbol of the changer of ways. This is also known as the ever-changing mark of Zinch, the Chaos God. This is a man that is thrown his lot in with the ruinous powers for sure. He is worshipping or following the great conspirator.
So all those prayers were for nothing, then,
Well, it depends
about
on
the
how
other
you
one?
look at it. After all, you are alive, he is not.
What about the other tattoo? Do you know what that one is for?
all right, he kind of glances at and looks at that, and then he says,
I recognize this mark. Oh, we have seen this before. This is a mark that identifies this man as the member of the cult of the Purple Hand. This is a chaos cult of Zinch. They are widespread through the Empire, but we did not believe that there was any active group still working and operating inside the city of Middenheim.
He had mentioned that he had many brothers.
Oh, years
That
ago,
were
they were
working
behind a
tonight.
plot to murder Graf Boris Todbringer. It was only so narrowly thwarted. Since then, the cult has been mostly hidden underground. Any member of the cult would be immediately arrested and ultimately found in league with chaos and would be burned at the stake. If there are indeed more of these individuals, we must find them. We must root them out.
Yes, I agree.
It's a shame that this man is dead.
Well, we weren't really given an option.
I fully understand. No. It is still a shame nonetheless.
Yes, in the future, if given the opportunity, I would try to keep him alive for you.
Well, now I am thinking I have another idea.
Okay.
It is very probable that he was coming... I digress. Show me the veil. Show me where the veil was that he was going to.
Are we okay to leave the body here like this, alone?
I would recommend one of you stay behind to keep an eye on it.
I'll continue to keep an eye on it. I'll
okay.
do my best to make it.
All right, so yeah, he looks at Old Debt and he goes,
Lead on.
I'll take him to the well.
okay. And he kind of looks at it and glances around the area. Just,
So Mateus's theory seems to have been most accurate, that they were not indeed targeting so much the churchhoods, but more trying to contaminate large quantities of the populace. This being an area that is so considered dangerous at night, I suppose it probably assumes that it is one that would be easiest to poison without drawing attention to yourself. But if this is the case, then his brethren probably are fully aware that he came here. Perhaps somebody should watch this well for a little while. Perhaps if he does not return in the morning, somebody may come looking for their friend. Maybe we may have a second opportunity to find somebody that's working for this cult of the Purple Hand. Alas, other than this, I would say it's a proverbial needle in a haystack to try to find. They could be operating anywhere in such a huge city. No doubt it is in a secluded place, but there are literally thousands of such places inside Middenheim.
Yes. We can, once the body is dealt with, we can shift over here and just watch this well.
Okay. While you're over... So now you guys are back over at the well. As you turn to go back, go ahead, Aldet, and give me a perception roll.
You can do it. Please, we need this lead.
We need a lead, man.
I keep screwing us all over.
39. I have one more reroll. I'm going to reroll.
Okay.
That'll put me down to 0 until...
Igmar, please.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yes.
Okay.
Be praised.
So, pretty close to where you shot the guy, you notice what looks like a piece of folded paper laying on the ground, kind of half buried in the mud, but still kind of poking out clear enough to spot it.
Can we say that I have gloves of some kind?
Do you have gloves of some kind? Do you have leather armor?
I do.
Full leather armor?
I mean, I've cut pieces off of it, I think. Let me check. Where's my inventory?
Because full leather armor does include gloves. So as long as you had
leather
armor,
cap,
as long as you
jack,
had
leather leggings,
sorry, what'd you have?
leather cap, leather jack, leather leggings.
Okay, so you have a leather jacket. So yes, you would have the gloves then.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna
Yep.
put gloves on then and make sure that I don't touch this paper.
Okay. Right,
There's
so
a
he's
paper
walking
right
back, and you kind of stop and see it. Like he walked right by it, so you're able to pick it up.
I'm gonna pick it up and just kind of like tuck it in my hand for now.
Okay, all right. All right, he goes back in, and he says,
So, do either of you wish to volunteer to watch this well in the morning? Perhaps
I
at
think we should do
least.
this together.
Well, you can both do this if you wish.
Yes, I prefer not to be without some kind of support.
Well, in this case, I will head back and find Matthias and inform him of what we have found. Before we do so, we must make a good job of covering up this corpse. Perhaps if you are going to stay here in this area, you can also make sure that nobody comes digging around inside the building.
How close are we to the well? Close enough that we could
a few
do
blocks
that?
over. You can't see it from there. But he's like,
We will secure a cart of some kind, and we will be back in the morning. And we will tuck the body away and take care of it.
you have done well bringing this to our attention. You have done particularly well in not trying to interfere with this despicable dust.
Yes, no, we do not want anything to do with that.
So he takes the little drawer, the little burnt drawer with him that has the warp stone in it, and then he sets off, leaving you two behind.
Okay. I'm gonna open the letter.
Okay. The letter is not, in fact, a letter, but it is a sketch. It is showing very clearly a little circle with a square in it, and it has the rudimentary layout. Like looking at the city map that we're looking at, imagine if somebody just drew. So instead of actually having any detail, someone just did this to kind of like, detail out the blocks. Mm-hmm. So they're on there. The one that you recognize as being the alt quarter, it's got a little pinpoint, like little X and a circle right where that well would be. More importantly, however, there is a route planned on this piece of paper. Clearly, initially, it was a route planned to get from point A to the well. But logically, you could reverse engineer that to follow it back. And pretty much what it does is it takes you kind of through the burnt out section of the Altmarkt. It goes through the narrowest sections of the Wind. I'll kind of show you here. So yeah, it kind of like goes like... Come on. There we go. Kind of like goes to here and then down to here. And then it like cuts down through these alleys, through this section here. And then kind of goes over, and ironically, goes all the way down to the Southgate Ostwald district. If you remember the refugees and all of that, when you were first come in, were about here. Mm-hmm. It actually goes down to a building that's not that far from the refugees. Right here.
Okay. Catterall, will you take a look at this with me?
Oh, yeah, so you've come back. Absolutely. I'm gonna look at it and just be like,
I found this where where I first saw the men. Does it look like it could be a map back to where we should be going?
well, that you.
Yeah, basically he had it in his hand and he was like referring to it to get him here. And then
Dropped it when I shot him.
when you shot him, he's like, "Ah!" So it fell on the floor.
Something of a wayfinder, all that. You know that?
Thank you.
You can consider me a soldier in your army at this point.
Well, I hope I don't need an army, but I appreciate it. We do have to stay here until the body is dealt with, but after that we can gather up together and discuss what we should be doing next.
As easy of a night as any other, I suppose.
So do you guys want to wait for the witch hunters to show up first and then go over to where the other two are waiting at the...
I am not willing to leave the body alone. I'm willing to separate to go tell them what's going on, but I'm not willing to leave this body.
So you want one of you two to stay with it?
Yeah.
And then the other one can run back and tell them what's gone on?
Yeah, we can have somebody, I don't care who, I'll do it or you can, but
Okay.
somebody needs to play messenger.
All right, who's playing messenger then?
Who's
And
playing messenger?
who's playing messenger and who's watching the body?
Well, communication is your talent. Moving is more mine.
Yep. Heading over to the blazing hearth in the morning, because they're kind of thinking that you're going to show up. What's up, Jim? They're expecting you to show up for breakfast, and you're probably going to be a bit later than that if you wait on Bauer to come back with a cot.
Definitely.
I feel like
About 20 minutes.
I feel like as much as I'd like to be able to dissuade someone from inspecting the premises, you'd be much more effective at it. Let me ride out. My horse is there. I'll tell them what's happening and return so that you're not,
Okay.
at least, not alone tonight.
Alrighty. Yeah, so you head over to the blazing hearth, the heart of the Little Moot, where you will find Matthew Bain,
we're sitting outside, kind of getting looking.
and Bertilda sitting outside the tavern looking thoroughly bored, probably, as they've been sitting there for several hours.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
You've been through a lot tonight.
Where's all that? They'll be
We
reading.
didn't do anything. We sat here and we know we're not to be trusted.
Prior, I apologize. I was heated, to say the least. Let me buy you drinks and dinner for the night. We're going to be back just later than usual. I don't want to leave her there alone with the body. She's watching it.
So what are we doing?
We met with the witch hunter. He intends to burn the body, which is right. And so
But for now, we're hiding it here. You can arrange for it to be moved tomorrow morning.
So
We have a lead. We know where they came from. It's a building in Southgate, Oswald Street. And we're going to go there soon.
And
For
I
now,
will put...
rest up. I'm going to go back with Odette.
With the witch hunters. We're going there with
Perhaps.
the witch hunters?
No, they're dealing with the body. They don't know about it. Odette kept it secret because she's smart.
Okay, so
Wait.
yeah, go ahead, Bertilda.
Where did this lead come from?
Apparently, he was holding directions on what to do because he was a new initiate and had no clue what he was doing, and dropped it when he was shot with an arrow.
Of course,
So it was found on the way back to the well, and it's as much as any lead.
Okay, so we know where these people are coming from, but we're gonna wait a day for the body to get burned first.
No, we've outsourced that to the witch hunters. They're going to take care of it. And
So
don't have to-
so we could all go now to this place that Odette found.
I suppose, but we could all use a rest after everything that happened tonight. I was actually planning on buying you all dinner and a drink.
It's
As
like
we're
9 in the
making
morning.
up for pointing. Well,
I got it. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
in this life that we're leading and all that's happened tonight, do you really concern yourself with when dinner is?
No, no. Fair enough.
Maybe rent a room first and eat it there.
I mean, we have been up all night.
We have. We
that's
deserve
okay.
ourselves a rest, yeah. The church is aware that the problem is bigger than they suspected. They have increased their pay. We'll be able to afford the armor. We'll be able to move on with this. Again, I'm sorry for casting dispersions and Matthew Bain. I'm sorry for pointing my bow.
I was at fault, so I'm sorry too.
I figured you'd take it as a gesture. It seemed to mean more to the more mortal among us, yeah.
Matthew Bain, just so you know, for future reference, I don't mean it when it comes to putting warpstone on someone.
If I suggest it, it's all an act.
It was a tactic. I'm aligned with the White Wolves, and I think they know best, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't do that.
So I'm gonna lift the helm, the visor of my helm,
Okay.
and just kind of be like, Bertilda, you were right. I'm sorry.
Given the circumstances, your actions were somewhat understandable, Matthew Payne. I'm
It's
going
what
to
it is.
hand him 2 gold and just be like, have a good night.
I'm gonna lower the visor again.
The guy kind of was a toad. I'm just saying.
Okay.
He was. Have a good night. Rest well. I don't know when morning will be. We'll be with the body, and if that's taken care of, once that's taken care of, we'll come meet you here.
Okay.
And we'll deal with our problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I guess. I mean,
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, so you guys can go and procure yourself a good room and a
Also,
late
please
meal
stable
if
my
you're
horse.
hungry in an incredibly comfortable
I'll
tavern.
take care of that before. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and then I'll return on foot.
I mean, the Blazing Hearth has some of the best food to be found in the entire city, and some of the most comfortable beds, albeit them a little short.
They're great for me.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
You really
as hell.
need to rest anything.
Remember, the
below
ceilings
your
in here
knee.
are only 5 foot high, so you're having to kind of stoop to wander around. And the furniture, as we said, is uncomfortably small for people that are not halflings, or maybe even dwarves are probably a little wide for some of the furniture.
Right.
But
Their own fault. Being too big.
but yeah.
I'm running back to Old Dad as soon as that's over with.
Okay, so you guys are tucked away. So you two are going to run back, and you're just going to wait for the witch hunters. Okay. Well, you start hearing the activity as the sun comes up. You'll start hearing the activity of people outside. slowly as the city begins to come to life. I mean, the early wee hours of the morning. And probably still fairly early, you kind of hear the squeaking of cartwheels, and then you hear a boom, boom, boom on the base of the door.
I really hope that's for us.
Who else would be? I'm just gonna open the door.
Okay. You see all three of the witch hunters,
Okay.
although they are wearing, they're not wearing their witch huntery hats. They've all just got cloaked hoods and big, overflowing travel cloaks.
Not conspicuous.
Bring out your dead! Bring out your dead!
At all.
Order Fidalis, I presume. Welcome. Please enter my home.
Okay, they kind of come in and they bring like a huge big black sheet with them. They lay it on the ground, and then two of them, as they begin to move all the timbers, carefully pick this guy up by his boots and by his shoulders, and they put him in the put him in the rag. They roll the sheet all over him, and then they bind it and tie it so it looks like a nicely packaged body. And then they take it outside, drop it on the cart, and he goes, "We are sorry for your loss.
Don't forget the other part. Please don't let him forget the giant 4-foot.
We put that in the body.
I'm assuming we put that.
Yeah, you
Okay.
probably
We didn't leave it in the street.
Yeah. So they take all that, and then, like with a casual hooded nod, the handcart, Bauer picks up the handcart and carries it off down the street, as if he's heading to the eastmost gate.
As they're leaving, can I just under my breath, just like kind of, oh shoot, what was that bar's name? The one with the shady little like curtains and
Oh
stuff.
gosh, what was it?
The last drop.
Yeah. So can I just under my breath be like, the last drop in 2 days?
Okay. He kind of stops and nods. Okay.
Okay.
And they cart the body away.
Cool.
Okay.
What do you got? Then after that, what are you two doing? Going back to?
Should we watch the well like we told them we were going to?
I told them we'd meet them there.
At the well.
No, at the inn.
Should we watch the well today, though, like we said we were going to?
I
Or
suppose
should we just find a place and sleep?
I mean, as fun as it was to sleep up against the chimney there, it would be nice to rest actually for a bit.
I agree.
I suppose I await your orders.
My orders? Why are these my orders?
Frankly, I've never had someone whose judgment I trusted more than my own until now. Make with that what you would will. Let's get back to the game.
Okay. So are you two? You're gonna scurry back over also to the hearth and get rooms and sleep for a bit, or?
I'm gonna make a quick detour by the well, just as people are like getting up and moving about to make sure nothing seems suspicious or anyone, and then I'm gonna head
there
over.
are plenty of people using it this morning for sure. I mean, there's.
But like nobody walking up to it and like questioning it and then like walking off.
Not at first. Just if you're just gonna kind of go and have a glance around, then no.
No, I'd probably just like wait long enough till like the morning is up, and then I'm heading out. I'm like, yeah, we've
Okay,
got a place
alright.
to go.
Okay.
We got a lead.
All right. Yeah, I mean, logically, even if you caught somebody, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Follow them back to where you already believe they're going to go, right? So,
Yeah. I, just wanted to be able to,
Yeah.
in my conscience, tell them I did watch it. Nobody showed up.
Like, okay, that's good enough. I've watched it.
Look,
no-
okay, I have
I'm
a
no
very
liar.
weird moral code here. I have a very weird moral code.
Okay. Yeah. So you all, how long do you guys want to rest into the day?
Honestly, I'm resting as much as possible because that was a crazy night.
It was.
So, I mean, Odette and Kat are getting less
They're
sleep
probably
than
I mean
Matilda and I.
they're probably going to need quite a few hours. So
So
And
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
sleep
what are you
until
planning on
they wake
doing?
me
Going
up.
to this place
Yeah, no.
early morning, or are you going to wait and kind of skulk over there later? So,
Early
Okay.
morning seems bad. We're just gonna go later.
okay, all right. Yeah, so you're basically gonna spend most of the day sleeping, resting up. Nobody's down any wounds or anything, right?
Nope.
Just fortune points. Do we get those back?
You will get your fortune points back, yes. Based on the number of fate points that you currently have. And I think somebody has a bonus point.
No, I used it.
Oh, okay, then you don't have it.
I used it as a reroll on the door.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Fortune.
Yeah,
point.
so at what time do you guys want to head into the Southgate Ostwald district and try to scout out or infiltrate whatever it is that's at the other end of this map?
Afternoon?
Okay, so you want to head over there in the afternoon?
I mean, that's okay. That's my thoughts. What does everyone else think?
That's rational given the amount of rest that we need.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also don't want to wait till nightfall because then they're gonna be active again.
Yeah, so like late afternoon, right? 4 or
That's
5
what I
in
was
the
thinking.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right before they're active. Ooh,
Right.
get them
So
right when they're getting ready.
So yeah, if you go down there, it's basically all down the bottom here is warehouses, and it looks like it takes you to one of the smaller warehouses here. There are a lot of people around because it is the afternoon, and this is a very busy area. So it is very unlikely that you will be able to go in or out of this building at this time without somebody witnessing you do it. Now, that may not be an issue, but I'm just letting you know.
Is anyone particularly loitering around that building, like a scout outside?
Periodically, you see people hanging around, gossiping and talking, but then they move off. There's nobody that's here. If you're like going to observe the building for an hour or so, then no, there's nobody that's consistently here, like a guard or anything like that. This just happens to be a very busy area right now because there's so many refugees, and there's a lot of trade and stuff goes on down here as well. From like this is where like those porn shops are and all that other stuff.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to look at everybody else. Are we doing this?
Are we all prepared? Should I go buy a few more arrows?
No, we didn't really spend that many hours. Do we want to go in now? With everyone still out here?
We could wait a couple hours till like 7 or 8.
It might be fun to hit them right before they're ready to do whatever they're about to do.
I'm just worried that the noise might attract attention from the outside.
Right,
That
if
up.
it starts to calm down, then they'll be more likely
Could
to
be
hear
more
us.
prepared. It's true.
Also, would noise be a bad thing for us? Because worst case, they get the guards, right?
Do we want the gods involved in this?
Well, I'm just saying,
At this
if they
point.
get the guards, we are the good guys.
At this point, it could just be considered a raid on something. The guards might not be bad to pull into this. They're right down the street.
If you think that now is a good time, I'm willing to go now.
I say if the guards come, they come. Otherwise, we deal with it. Like we were getting paid to do.
Very well.
True.
Okay, well,
I'm-
that is a good place for us to stop this evening. Right as you're about to perform a raid on a warehouse. What are you, Elliot Ness and the Untouchables?
I don't know what we are anymore.
Can I have drawn the whip from my horse's saddlebags? Can I have my whip?
Sorry?
I want my whip. Every time I go and think about it, I'm like, I own a whip. I just don't have it on hand.
You did have your horse in this list.
You can go get your whip off your horse.
Okay, cool.
Alrighty, okay. Well, yeah, that's a great place for us to stop. It's not a particular cliffhanger, but it is neat and tidy and a good place to end it. So there we go. All right, y'all. We're out of here. Y'all have fun. Watch the Twitters for things and see us playing stuff. And I'll catch y'all later. Bye, y'all. Bye.